evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, running for president in 2016 and beyond. Thank you for coming in. We are going to be talking about stopping war tonight. Our anti-war rally is about fixing the country, too, because ironically, bringing our troops home and ending the Federal Reserve is really what we should be doing. We've got problems right here at home we have to deal with, and we've got a mobile medical unit plan to orchestrate through the military. The Veterans Administration will be completely revamped with modern medical facilities. And by the way, this is my idea. I've had this for 8 years. It's not Donald Trump's idea. This is a comprehensive mobile medical care system that will provide preventative care and trauma care, portable x-rays, portable ultrasound devices, top quality electronic testing of your blood, and a copay of only $30 if you're not a veteran. And then our idea to fix the country, to get homes. I found out recently we have 18.5 million houses that are empty right now in foreclosure. We've got nearly 4 million people who are homeless. Connect the dots. If somebody out there who's homeless wants to help in the program, and it'll make it very easy for them to hold a paintbrush, they can make $10 an hour and get a chance to own a house or be a part of our homestead renewal plan for revitalized motels with kitchenettes. So we're going to solve the homeless problem. We're going to have modern vehicles. In fact, the mobile medical unit, will have an alternative mobile service unit, an MSU, that'll provide portable showers with recycled water, portable washer and dryers for people, bathroom facilities. Seriously, I mean, we want to make sure that the 10th cities are serviced by one of these units that's serviced for a mobile service capacity. Love this artist. Yeah, we've heard his work is incredible. He's a political artist called dds.com. He has a gallery. We just got the link in our chat room here. Gallery. His work is exemplary. He's got amazing satirical political messages in every picture. His name is DDs, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, wow. Overwhelming. Every one of these things is like, you can look at it and find all kinds of hidden messages. I'm just blown away by his work. Fantastic. Yep, thank you, Lemon Moon. We're getting in messages from people like, links like Planet X brought us the link to the Dulce, New Mexico security officers speaking out about the supposed secret facility, the Area 51 or Area 52 facility. We talk about those things on our Monday night show. Yep. You need the link? Well, you just got it in the room to the DD's library. I'll put that over here too. You guys can see it there and here. And as far as the Dulce, New Mexico link, that you'll have to get Planet X to give you, because I'm a little busy right now. Police seize over 5,000 ounces of silver from a man's home. Why? He's storing them for the apocalypse. What the hell? Let's take a look at this story. Taking in news stories, bringing in links, that's what we do on a nightly basis. We are a fully functional, interactive, virtual chat room. Political in nature. Last week in the Australian state of Queensland, federal police confiscated a whopping 465 ounces of silver worth roughly $106,000 from a man's home. Police raids instigated by the Australian Tax Office against individuals suspected of tax evasion. Oh. So they're sending a clear message that anybody putting their money in silver and gold is going to get their house broken into. Wow. Australia, another soft tyranny state of England. Amazing. Yeah, we've got problems right there. All of us don't realize that our country in America is still relatively controlled by England, by the city of London, actually. And if you didn't know, our debt, our $19.6 billion trillion debt, $19.6 trillion debt is linked to the Federal Reserve. They handle the note. And all your taxes that you're putting out every year, it's simply going to the interest on the debt. And our current government, they keep charging more and more, so we become more encumbered by debt every single year. So not only do we need a third party to change all that, The paradigm has to change, but we also have to come up with creative ways to develop money, income, new production. And we have ideas like our renewable energy solutions to do that. We've got great ideas like this vertical windmill idea. We talk about this on our Technology Thursday show. But this is an idea I thought of, putting vertical windmills on all telephone poles, electric poles in America. Millions of poles out there that could be bringing energy in and paying for the equipment. And we'll be making money for 50 years because these things will be built to last. So we've got to ramp up production. We've got to solve our healthcare price gouging that's been going on by the unscrupulous pro-criminal, I call it pro-criminal healthcare industry, as opposed to professional. I think they're stealing money from everybody. I think the money is absolutely bizarre that they charge you when you go to a doctor. $1,500 for a standard ER visit if you're not a person who's indigent. Crazy. You like Annie Lennox? Really? People say I look a lot like Annie Lennox. Are you just saying that because you think I look like Annie Lennox? Really? You think the hairdo, right? That looks like Annie Lennox, yeah. Well, let's take a look. Questions? Go ahead. That's some nice art. Need higher res to use as my phone's wallpaper. Oh, you're on your phone? Really? G35? Wow. So you're actually in the show on your phone. It's amazing you could even pick up a chat room on a small 5-inch screen. The iPhone 7 is out. I don't know. I'm not sure where everyone's going with all this. Okay, Annie Lennox. Here we go. Yeah, I see the resemblance, yeah. Kind of strange. Kind of freaky. All right, thank you. They can't take it of its in the bank too, so. Yeah, old scratch, thank you. Yeah, they took his crap, but he won't use the banks or their paper money. Yeah, I know. Twins. I think we really have a problem when people go after people for tax evasion, but that guy must have made money. That's the problem. If you have that money stored away because you happen to put it safely away in increments, it's safe. If you're not reporting income, and you got 1099s and W-2s out there that are bringing in money and you're not reporting it, yeah, I could see how that could be tax evasion. So I'm not sure of the case in Australia, but it definitely makes no sense that they would just go looking for people's gold or silver. Yeah, now I'm going to think that you like Annie Lennox and you think you like me because I look like Annie Lennox. It's definitely freaking me out. The IRS takes one property without due process, but they get away with it. I know. I'm just kidding, man. Mattress store closes after 9/11 commercial implodes across the internet. They closed the mattress store. And all they did was like put some mattresses up and do this ridiculous viral, they thought it was going to be funny. Disrespectful of 9/11. They have closed this incredible mattress haven. It was the Twin Towers sale that promoted it.
What better way to remember 9/11 than with the Twin?
I'll play it for you. We played it the other night.
With the Twin Towers sale. Right now, you can get any size mattress for a twin price. Full mattress? Twin price. Queen mattress? Twin price. King mattress? Twin price. Store-wide sale all day long.
You know, almost think that they purposely close because that's what mattress stores do. They like to close. This is a common thing. Yeah, Scissor Fight. It's not unusual for mattress stores to actually close their doors after a closeout sale. I used to know people in Los Angeles that opened up, they were like Persian rug dealers. And they didn't open up like normal stores open up. They open up with a closing sale. Closeout prices 70% off. Don't miss this opportunity to save up to 80% on a rare Persian rug. And they had these things going on local television. It was just unbelievable. And they would always get the 1 month free rent, because in some places in Los Angeles, when people really want to lease a place, they offer 1 month free rent. They immediately open up a closing store business. It's amazing. And they do really well. I'm not kidding. They make enough to pay for their mosque in their community and donate to local charities. All right, some of you are concerned about the weapons caches of jihadic groups. You're voting in your mind for Trump because he wants to stop them. I have a plan that doesn't involve IDing Muslims, and it doesn't involve deporting illegal aliens rapidly. By enforcing the laws that are currently on the books, making it a felony to hire illegal aliens, we'll gradually see owners of businesses going, oh no, I can't believe it. They're going to be serving some jail time. And this is going to send the word out to all the businesses that hire illegal aliens that they can't do it. So they're going to have to change the way they do business. That's the way to deal with the deportation issue. Frankly, it's worked in various states. It happened in Oklahoma about 10 years ago. They put together a law saying you cannot hire illegals, and 235,000 illegal aliens split. It was a mass exodus out of Oklahoma into other states and back home. Yeah, the fact is we don't need to identify anybody. The IDing thing is Donald Trump breaching our freedom of speech and our equal protection under the law, the 14th Amendment. The IDing thing was insane, and this is really bizarre. Had he just stayed with copying my ideas directly, he would have been better off. But it's clearly pushing Hillary up as a possible win because people are going, we don't want some dictator IDing Muslims. Well, I want you to write my name in this upcoming election, so I'm trying to sell you on the idea that we're going to go after jihadism in a different way. Unlike Barack Obama, who says that he doesn't believe that there's such a thing as radical Islamic people, I believe they do exist and they are a threat. But we have to focus on just the armament part, the stocking up on multiple weapons. No person in an encampment of religious nature should have more than one weapon per person. In honor of their Second Amendment rights, we're standing by that. But when they start to weaponize and get to hundreds of AR-15s and are planning a war, we got a real problem. If they're building bombs, we got a real problem. So we need to set up a special force tri-agency, DEA, FBI, and NSA, working together. We may even do ATF, DEA, or actually forget the DEA, do ATF, FBI, and NSA. And we get a tri-agency special forces together to go in and go after these stockpiles. And we know that they are stockpiling weapons, and Obama has done nothing about this. But to go ahead and ID Muslims, that's a huge mistake. I've cultivated a core audience that really, you are conservative. A lot of you are. We actually morphed into a centrist group immediately once we hit the internet in 2008. I was a little liberal in certain areas, but I immediately got rid of certain things on our site. Like we used to have a reinstatement of the assault weapons ban on our site. We axed it in 2009 as soon as we started because people were convincing us gun rights have to be protected. So we've always kind of listened to the right, whereas the Democrats don't want to do that. They won't even take in any constructive criticism. But oppositely, Trump, he doesn't want to listen to anybody except himself, which is extremely disturbing considering we've had a president like this with Bush and Obama. So we don't need that kind of a president anymore, and he's no longer, his abilities, Obama's abilities have been nullified by his egomania. The same thing would be true with Trump or Hillary. They take the center stage, not the issues. And that's a big problem with what we've got today with the two-party system. Yeah. So you sent some Annie Lennox videos to him? Okay. She was pretty cool in the beginning days, yeah. Wow, yeah. I'll have to look at that. Eurythmics, Bevo. Well, the FBI won't believe they had intent. The FBI needs to be restructured. FBI is running... I'm sorry to say, I mean, I'm sure Quantico would not want me to say these things, but I'm free to say whatever I want about organizations within this country. The reforms that need to be done with the FBI are pretty enormous. I can't, as a president, reform the CIA. It's run through a different department, but I can work to get the FBI at Quantico to be a lot more on the ball. I see an organization that they don't seem to even respond to a lot of the questions and calls from the American people. And the recent decision by Jim Comey, the director of the FBI, is despicable. To not prosecute Hillary on the obvious charge of violating our national security, at the very least, by releasing emails on open servers. I mean, that alone is huge. Hillary's trying to claim that nothing she did intentional, when we know for a fact that Hillary did search for a way to get rid of her emails, and she used a special type of software to do it. So there's complicity, there's intent, and there's an obvious case of felonious, at the very least, obstruction of justice. Because we're trying to find out what happened during the Benghazi incident with Chris Stevens, and that picture is completely morphed by the lack of information from the Secretary of State office, which is dereliction of duty as well. I mean, there's all these things she should be charged with. All right. The first flight of the Airbus A330 of Saudi Arabia. Okay, Ann. And is this one of these racist things here? Oh, yeah, we don't really like to get into racism, Dr. Meow. Why don't you go into the Trump room? Oh, he doesn't have a room, that's right. This is the toilet on the first flight of A330. Nice. Airbus, Saudi Arabia. At least people are picking up. Thank you for flying Airbus A330. Your maiden voyage has been wonderful. Please discharge your colostomy bags in the restroom. So why are we looking at the toilet? All right, this is some sort of a joke. It's a joke video. I mean, this guy goes into the toilet and says it's a maiden voyage. 200 plus viewers, Diamond Dave, thank you very much. I'm glad you told me. Today in Nobody Cares, The Hill, let's see what this is about. So these are all our ideas which Donald Trump doesn't have. Well, he claims he has a mobile medical unit, but I'll tell you mine is even better because it's got something going on. Our mobile medical unit will offer an amazing thing. Medical marijuana. When I become president, I'm going to legalize all marijuana in America. All marijuana production will be legal. If you sell it, you have to pay a 15% tax, even if you're a retailer or a grower. So we'll pick up to 30% tax on something like this. But the back of these units will be a generic medicine, and they'll have a Pillomatic, and they'll be selling 1 to 3.5 gram quantities of marijuana. Pretty good, huh? Some of you really like to ingest in that, imbibe in that. It has been proven to be medicinal, and the government is going to have to change, and I'm going to make it change. As president, I will issue an order removing marijuana from the list of controlled substances. Yay, David, thank you. Donald and Hillary won't do that. Yep. There you have it. My tax of 15%, if you don't pay it, just give it away, you know. Give your weed away to your friends. You won't have to pay tax if you give it to your friends. Seriously. But if you're making money on it and you're trading with it, either bartering with it, you're going to have to pay 15% tax. We will have a a plan to find out, and we'll have a sting operation going on. I'm going to turn the DEA into kind of like casual drug buyers. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, cool. Oh, what's your name, man? Okay. And then we'll look them up later. You sold so-and-so 15 ounces of marijuana. We're going to try to take it slow because we know that we want voluntary compliance. I don't want to start prosecuting people and filling up the jails. But we want to invigorate the economy, and there's no better way to do it than marijuana legalization. We've seen an upsurge in both Colorado and Washington, and it's very good. We've, in this state, sold $1 billion worth of marijuana in the past couple of years. Well, Canna, this was the red shirt I was wearing the other day. It's rust. Remember, rust never sleeps. I don't like blood red shirts. I don't think I would wear a blood red shirt. All right, brownies, cookies, vapes. People are liking the idea. So I'm a casual presidential candidate. I'm not a person who, thank you. I'm not a person who's trying to lay a trip on you, and I'm not going to create bigger government. So a lot of people are kind of scared by this. They call me a communist, even though I'm not. I'm actually trying to divert the economy so we can actually not fall into a socialist, communist paradigm. I'm actually thinking of a different paradigm entirely, where we actually get the government to run with returns on investments. So the mobile medical unit will actually make enough money to buy new units, train new people, and will provide services for all the excess number of people who are going into ERs right now, ripping off your local hospital, and they rip you off. The reason why you're getting gouged really is because your hospital is giving people free. Okay, thank you. The hospital is giving people free care. So if you're an average person and you have any equity at all, you walk in there and go, so $1,500 for 20 minutes in the ER to get one stitch? Hello? Well, those are the rules, sir. It'll go on your credit rating if you don't pay for it. So then you're going to have people becoming medical debtors rather quickly. And many people who walk in and don't tell the truth, they'll be charged with perjury. If they don't tell that they own a house or something, they'll be charged with perjury. Oh yeah, and then they'll go after your house. So this is a way to bypass the paradigm we have with Obamacare. Getting low-cost healthcare insurance solutions is one thing, but getting a mobile medical unit to people for immediate care is another thing. We do support a public option, and I will fight for it. Unlike Obama and Michelle, they didn't fight for it. A public option takes the middleman out of health care and gives us an opportunity to save a ton of money. Thank you. I'm hoping for $60 a month health care. That's what I'm hoping for. The premiums will be $60 a month per person. That's something that's affordable. You got $4,000 charge for a sonogram? Are you serious, old scratch? Wow. Thanks, taxes. We know that Hillary's got some physical ailments. Now, even Hillary would have a place in hospice care if she and Bill ran out of money and her Parkinson got really bad. She could have a hospice stay. And you know, even if they were ruined when all the fraud charges come up against Global Initiative and the Clinton Global Initiative, and they had no money at all, we would take care of her. Okay? Always remember that. Well, there are a lot of censorship techniques that Vaughn is using. No, I'll take care of anybody if we have the ability, we want to do it. Your idea runs in 11 states now. How will you do this? Easily. We put it together with a national program. Our mobile medical units were not going to be parked at the Mayo Clinic. We'll be parked at the VA. Yeah. And that's where their center will be. They'll be home-based at the Veterans Administration. This is a modern-day fix-up to the VA system. You know, these shows are all absolutely identical in some ways, but in other ways they're totally different. We always try to have a different theme in every show, but I'm addressing issues that are cutting edge on a nightly basis. If people don't know that I'm the originator of the mobile medical unit idea, they don't think it's that interesting. They've been hearing about it from Donald Trump, but he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't talk about all the things he's going to put inside these units and how much they're going to cost. This little guy is going to cost $5 million. Every one of them will. The net cost initially will be $1 billion, and we have that money right now in our Veterans Super Fund that was passed in 2007. No, they didn't create an idea with a mobile pharmacy on board selling marijuana and generic pharmaceuticals with a portable ultrasound. They don't even have portable ultrasounds in a lot of those units. This is totally different. For instance, my idea involves a canopy out in front with a seating area. Let me draw you a picture. This is an expanded unit. This is way beyond your wildest. You can imagine a large white tent constructed. This is blue for your eyesight purposes, but constructed in the front. And seating area, double row seating area. You get the concept. We have multiple seats, and then on the front of this thing could be a large LED TV, like a 60-inch, delivering information and fun stuff to watch because everyone gets bored. There's going to be a ticket thing where everyone will take a ticket, and there'll be a security guard there. There'll be a person, a mobile EMT, emergency medical technician, that'll go from person to person that's seating down and take your oxygenation level and your blood pressure and your pulse. We'll have all this information before you even walk in the door. So you're going to get treated while you're sitting there. And if you get triaged forward, you'll get moved right to the front, and you'll actually talk to a doctor on an intercom, a video interface like Skype. And you'll actually have a chance to talk to somebody who's, can help you immediately. That's if you're really, really, really seriously sick. But yeah, I just want you to know this is the original idea. And the mobile medical unit applied on a federal level is our idea. Nobody else is talking about a mobile medical unit on a large level besides myself and Trump. And Trump took our idea. No, only minor surgery, like 1 to 5 stitches. We will set arms. We'll have a mobile plaster set ready to go. We'll have braces on board so we can brace legs that are broken. And we can do all the things you get in ER. Yeah. I've just expanded the idea of mobile medical units, but the idea on a federal level is our idea. Well, I will not be there personally to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Yes, it'll be VA contracted. All of this is routed to the VA. I would have to wait years for Congress to approve this. Samson, I'm for hybrid cannabis, but not anything that would be allowed to take Roundup. I don't support Roundup. And if something was GMO weed that allowed pesticides to grow better inside of them, I would not want it. Hang on. We need to get the board too. I'll go look for that. No, I'll go find it. It's right over here.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Trump stole ideas that wasn't his. Thank you. Taxes. I don't want more taxes.
Right.
Thank you. This there. Oh, she wants to see my shirt. It's green, which is why you can't see it because it's not really this color. It's like green screen color, so that's why it looks like it's sparkling because it's shining through the green screen. Alright. Good ruse. Leah, huh? That's your ruse now? Oh, hello NYPD1. Can anyone hear her? I can see you, the mob. I can see what you're typing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's David's sister gave me this shirt. She gives me all my cool clothes. Hybrids are not necessarily GMO. Hybrid fruit or something like that. Oh, it's hard to hear me. Let's see. I will speak more directly at the microphone. Hi, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Saturday nights, we like to talk about how to bring about peace on Saturday night, and we like to talk about an anti-war rally. David's here.
What's
David
happening?
Sponheim. This is a gentleman running for president of the United States.
Wow. What's happening here? We just started a show again, or what?
Yes, well, we were just featured on iVlog. That's why I said.
Oh, we're
that.
featured on iVlog. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah.
VA announces plans to serve Southwest Washington's rural veterans with mobile medical units. Nice.
Yeah, this has been
Glad to hear it.
an ongoing thing. The mobile medical unit idea we started in 2008 has kind of, become a theme for our show, and we've been using it as a theme for our show for the past 8 years.
I don't know why there's no cameras on iVlog. You want me to put the cameras on? I don't know.
That's weird. I allowed guest chat. I haven't changed the setup on there.
Let's see. David didn't change his setup, so let's see what the settings are.
I don't have a trust fund. When's your next trust fund payment coming? I don't have a trust fund. Okay, I'm going to try to ask you to stop, criticizing Sarah, because she's in here trying to do the best she can. The show started when you were born, when your mom said, "Oh, what a cute baby." What's wrong with him? That's when the show started. I don't make any money, Randy. I'm not into money. I'm not materialistic. I'm the exact opposite of Hillary and Donald. I can live on rice and beans and I'd be happy. I'm very much like a monk running for president. That would be the best way to describe me. I know. Matt Lauer was never neutral. The entire CNN is the 8th largest donator to the Clinton campaign. CNN. They donate to the Clinton campaign. I mean, come on.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
I think I know why. I think we might not be pro anymore, but at least we have the information so we can encode our video. They're still
good.
letting us do that.
Well, that's cool. At least we can encode.
That's good.
It's been 1 month already on iVlog? Wow.
It might happen.
Wow, we got a free month from somebody. They donated it.
Hey, Havoc.
Look, I'm not planning on buying a house when I become president. I'll be living in the White House. Sarah and I won't need to go shopping for houses. And we have a house here on the West Coast, so we don't need to worry. And we're going to turn this house into a presidential library. No, CNN is donating to Hillary's campaign. They're the 8th largest donator. I'm going to go check out something in the other room. I know CNN is owned by 18% is owned by a Saudi Prince Walid. I know. It's weird. The whole connection, the encroachment of foreigners in our country is pretty heavy. And when you look at the Clinton initiative, it's all about letting foreigners dictate policy in our country. I'm not a berserker. No, not at all. In fact, my efforts have been to lay out the plans for our country. You have no idea. I'm a man with an incredibly high IQ, and Sarah's very smart as well. And we really think we could fix this problem that we have in this country by using common sense solutions that even you and I could integrate and talk about. I really believe that politics has to get more down to earth. Thank you.
So if you just did youtube.com, sometimes that live stream will be right there.
Oh, okay. Great. Hi,
So,
Jack.
anyway.
Sorry I missed you. Okay, I'll be back shortly.
Where are the chat cams? Like I said, it's been a month, so we don't have them. If you want chat cams, you'll have to sponsor us a pro account. So, oh well, at least I don't have a weird green screen anymore. At least I did enough to get that information. Hopefully that shoots out on me. Alright. Well, yeah, it's $394, but you know David, so that's a beginning. I think it's like $10 a month. $269. Yes. Well, I get really close. I'll get really close to the camera today because I don't need to put my feet up today. Yesterday, I felt like I needed to put my feet up, so today I feel good. How long will I let David continue this campaign of his? Forever. I'll always support David and whatever he wants to do. So my David has other great ideas, Sheriff Woody. I would say like his homestead renewal plan. That would be in addition to the $400. So if they're willing to work at helping build up houses, then they could live in low and more affordable housing. So that will be very good. And will you get a shirt with me on it, Sarah on it? I don't think you need a shirt with Sarah on it. Actually, David would like to see the Department of Education provide curriculum directly to schools that they can choose to use. I personally think Common Core is fine, and you can read corestandards.org. It's how people choose to teach it, what material they bring in. They don't have to bring in certain material that's controversial. You want my impression of pure communism, please? I don't think pure communism exists anywhere. That's what I would say. I think everybody has their own self-interests at heart, and they don't all want to help other people. That's why I don't think there ever will be pure communism. All right, if you say so. Okay, and then I should check out. My parents think David's fine. Yes, you do hear David using a microwave. Not relevant. Not relevant. Why does David radiate his food? Because it's fast and easy. You don't think David eats the way he tells you should eat? However, he doesn't have a problem with microwaves. He's never had a problem with microwaves. He's even used a microwave, like last time on his cooking show, he used a microwave. Okay. I did not know that about that. Ted was a chemtrail watcher. Yeah, he cooked apple cobbler a little bit in the microwave, and then I followed it in the oven, in a regular oven. Thank you, 817. No, David's gone more and more toward non-GMO. He definitely does avoid GMO whenever possible. Wow, 395. It's bigger than ever. Welcome, everybody. You're so interested in politics. I'm glad to hear that. David's all about saving money, the mob.
Did you not get broccoli? You didn't get broccoli?
No.
Ah, I thought you said you were getting broccoli.
I was.
I heard you say I'm getting broccoli.
I did. I was going to, and I totally spaced. We did make apple cobbler on Thursday. I totally forgot to get broccoli. I don't know why I forgot that, but working. All right. You're going to watch a cooking show at ATP Thursday at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Well, now I have to get the broccoli. Oh, well. Yeah, well, David has, I'm sure he's uploaded the apple cobbler video on his personal YouTube, which is youtube.com/David Sponheim, I believe, or David John Sponheim. So, it was really good, really easy to do, which was really good. The apple crisp looked edible compared to the other things you've seen him make. Probably because I was involved in the apple crisp making. Yeah, well, I'm not totally a freegan or a dumpster diver. I don't think I would actually be inside of a dumpster. You fell off your chair? Wow. You're like surprised by that. Good. Well, David works around the house. He just doesn't get paid for all the work that he does. He's like constantly working. Yeah. David's constantly working on his house and constantly doing different things. So he's very good. Well, David does leave the house and campaigns outside the house, and he does many, many things. Yes, David's a doer. He does a lot. And I'm glad about that. Which is good. Okay, well, we have done that 352 in the past. And then we even met a few viewers that we met from our chat shows, and we filmed that, like Awesome Carl. And I think we did a night where we had Mr. Walla on our show as well. Well, everyone can live their own lives, and what's dry to one person is super exciting to another. Crying as in upset, crying as in laughing. Why was she crying? I suppose he could. David left the house today with me to go get broccoli, which I forgot to buy. All right. Good. You campaign too. You sit on the side of the road with a cardboard sign that reads "Need money for tacos and beer," and that works for you, the mob. Well, I would like to give the homeless opportunities to work and build up a house. Okay, yes, Mad Dog, I've got your picture. Thank you. Yeah, that's me. That's pretty good screen capture, Mad Dog. You're like, I'm just gonna hold it over here until it's a good picture of Sarah. Oh, goodness. Oh, or that's why you said to move closer to the camera. All right. City, money, religion. You planted some broccoli seeds the other day? Nice. I hope they grow beautiful broccoli plants for you. Okay. You see Ubuntu? I suppose David could do that 352. Yeah, my parents used drugs in the 60s and then have become kind of anti-drugs since the last 20 years. They've been anti-drug. So well, the thing is, 961, are you going to get a job so that you can pay people to do things that you're going to pay them rather than do the work yourself, like gardening, landscaping, painting your house, maintaining your house, working on your roof, working, making you dinner, or going out to eat? Are those all the reasons that you work? Because David believes that he can do all of those things himself rather than going out to work for someone else, and then he can just do those things himself so he doesn't have to pay someone else to do them. Okay. Quite a few people do both. And I would say some people work and don't get paid for it. Like a lot of single parents work and don't get paid for it. Oh, David takes care of his own needs. In this amazing city, people live without politics and no religion and no money. In a city? Oh, wait, is this Burning Man? Oh, it's called Oroville. It was founded in 1968. It was hailed as an international city by UNESCO. As its inhabitants are over 50 nationalities and different cultures, they coexist without any problem since they have a political system. They have, a political system or no political system? Because up here it says no politics, but down below it says no political system. Have no religion, and on top do not use money, and getting all living through the system of exchanges. Oroville is located in South India, 150 kilometers from Chennai and Madras. I should show you guys a picture of Oroville. That's pretty cool. In this epic city, the buildings are based on an experimental architecture as they are constantly changing. This is because these structures seek to optimize the use of renewable energies, and their main objective, reuse and recycle. The person who designed and managed to found the city was Mira Alfasa, better known as Mother. She said there should be a place on earth that no nation could claim as their own, where all human beings of goodwill who have a sincere aspiration could live freely as citizens of the world, obeying one single authority, that of the supreme truth. A place of peace, concord, and harmony, where all the fighting instinct and man were used exclusively to overcome the cause of their sufferings and misery, to overcome their weaknesses and ignorance, and to triumph over their limitations and disability. A place where the needs of the spirit and interests of progress predestined precedence of interests of progress precedence over the satisfaction of desires and passions or the pursuit of pleasure and material enjoyments. That was her idea. So they have an international city. So they have multi-cropping, combining fruit trees, cornfields, and orchards. 15 farms reaching an area of 160 hectares. They ensure much food to supply the population. Self-sufficient milk and dairy and fruits that are in season. This city was recently received protection by UNESCO. Okay, interesting. What do you guys think of the city? No doubt they don't work there. I guess they do work. I mean, that's a place where I'm sure, even though, but they don't have money and they don't have politics. But would you say the people that work in the farms at that city are working? I would say that they're working. The planet is Earth and it's in India. Located in India. I didn't read the part about the pedos. Oh. Yeah, where does it say that though? Not in this article. But it could possibly be. You're right, Meow TV. I was talking about this city that exists in India that has no money or politics or religion. Yeah, for a certain kind of people, it might be utopia. Okay. Yeah, they might say they have a good life, I guess so. Wait, or just so, but obviously they get rich being born rich. So, but you don't, I think you're saying, John and Cage, that you don't value, I guess the word is the word I'm looking for, value people that are born rich. What are you going to do to help the world? Feminist, vegan, you say you're born rich and you're a princess, so I would ask, what are you going to do with your life to make the planet a better place, to make the world around you better? 60s, 70s, Sheriff Woody, David wasn't alive in the 30s. You're going to start your own cult. And what is the premise of your cult? Esther. Okay. So, feminist vegan's going to inherit her father's business, or his father's business, and pay over 100 people minimum wage. I hope minimum wage goes up for. What about giving those people houses that they can stay in that work in your father's business? All right. An end times cult that believes cats are divine beings is in Tennessee. That's hilarious. Okay, you're not a communist, but I hope that, is your father going to have you work in, well, I would advise you to spend time like that Undercover Boss show, spend time in each position within your father's organization so that you know and can appreciate how hard the people work for you, earning minimum wage. You don't have to give them anything though. What if your father said, I'm not giving you this unless you work in each position? Oh, sorry, Meow. And then if you brought home a black boyfriend and he said, you're not getting anything, I disinherit you, what would happen then? Yeah, I suppose you could work for the competitions, Sheriff Woody. Wow. I would say that you claim to be a feminist and a vegan, but I think that you have some other issues too. Like some hatred toward people. Oh, cat videos. You hate people that you would just use to get at your father. You guys are talking about all of your programs on your Linux box or something like that. Oh, that a direct quote? I wouldn't doubt it, Sheriff Woody. Man. Do I have live streamer? No, I do not. How is it impossible for you to be that way? You just hate. Fester hates everything. Even though you don't know why you hate everything. But do you love yourself? If you love yourself, then that's okay. I'm not convinced. Feminist vegan. Hello, Diane. Need Diane. Alright, good. Yeah, I think she does like labeling herself. It's true, Sheriff Woody. I would say that's true. Good catch there. Great act, though. Sure, great act. I don't know why would someone would brag about inheriting a business. Yeah, a lot of people don't have respect for that, but that's okay. Well, how much wealth will you create? Not your parents, but you. So Clinton says she regrets calling Trump supporters deplorable. And John Hinckley Jr. is freed after 35 years. Doubts and concerns are creeping into the whole Syria ceasefire deal. Violence has surged over there. Good, I'm glad you have big plans. I hope you achieve all of your goals. Yes, it's true. It's what you do with your money. Bad Dog, I don't really want a pro account. Thank you. I don't look at the streams underneath anyway. I mean, you could do it if you want to be streaming when I'm streaming. So if you want that, then go ahead. But I don't look at them. I did want it originally so that I could stream here without a green screen background. Basically, I needed the RTMP information. Hello, Jackson. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Webcam studio. That makes sense. You had a chicken taco salad that was huge. Huge. Have birds been acting strange? I did notice some crows were acting strange, but that's about it. Yes, wars are used to sell weapons, that's true. That's pretty cool, John Uncaged. A friend of yours wants to win Powerball just so he can retire. You say, I want to win Powerball so I can run the business I want to run. Have you considered seeking angel investors to run the business you want to run? Thank you, 788. Yeah, okay. I understand that about OBS, but yes, it's true. Sometimes I get used to things and then I don't want to change. All right, 241 wants to start a business if you win too. Good. Oh, you don't believe in borrowing money or taking handouts? But if you want it, it's available. It happens. So the Syrian government embarked on a wave of intense airstrikes on Saturday after the announcement of a new ceasefire deal between the Russia and the United States. However, they did say the ceasefire wasn't going to go into effect until Monday. So hopefully it actually does. I don't think everyone in Syria is a terrorist. I think there are terrorists over there, but not everyone that lives over there is one. All right. Okay. I think Feminist Vegan and Dr. Meow have found compadres in each other. They seem to have some things in mind. Well, it's easier, Mad Dog, through like OBS or XSplit if you do have a stream key. Webcam Studio, can't you only broadcast to one location at a time?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to have to start that broadcast over there because once I hit guest chat, it's going to be a nightmare. Is guest on right now?
Yeah, guest is on, and they haven't given me any problems.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to put it on ready for action if we have to.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Stop the hatred for Jackson. You know, this is ridiculous. If you don't curb this,
I was just about to do it.
It's called hate. The hate that's going on in our show against our supporters is outrageous.
That wasn't happening before.
I know.
So
it's not your fault.
All right.
Bothers me.
You can broadcast to numerous locations using either flash or FME.
Good. Yeah, we are currently using that. XSplit integrates that technology.
So a South Carolina woman was awarded $4.6 million after being stuck by a needle at Target.
Wow.
Thank you, Jackson.
No kidding. Whose needle was it? Target's?
Yeah, apparently.
Was this a needle on a shelf or something?
Picked up in a Target parking lot.
Oh. So she picked up a needle in a parking lot by herself and stuck herself with it, and she got $4.8 million. I've never seen anything like that. Wow. Who would have ever guessed?
Her daughter picked up a needle.
Wow. Oh, her
and
daughter
so
inadvertently.
She tried to swat it out of her daughter's hand, and it stuck into her palm.
So her daughter has a disease, HIV, or?
No, not necessarily, but she was bedridden because of medication prescribed because of the potential risk of contracting HIV. Just the risk of it.
Yeah, I think 4.8 is ridiculous, personally. But, I'm glad that somebody collected money against Walmart because they really have a problem. It was a spent needle. It doesn't matter what kind of needle it was. Record this.
A Target spokeswoman said the company is considering an appeal.
I would definitely appeal. That's ridiculous.
I would definitely appeal too.
It's ridiculous. 4.8 million. And I mean, hello. And the child's fine. You think a lot of things. You may be wrong though. It sounds like a crock of crap. Yeah. 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 It sounds like a crock of crap. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, stand up for Walmart, man. Yeah. You're supporting Department of Homeland Security when you do that. You understand that? Walmart integrated with DHS this past year to dig underground tunnels in some of their locations. Interesting, huh? You got to wonder about that. Hey, thank you very much. So this has been fun. We are recording the broadcast just because I want to look back and see what you guys said when I'm 88 years old. When I'm 65. 64. When I'm 64, yeah. Pence releases his tax returns while Trump's remain a secret. Turns out Pence doesn't have a lot of money. The guy with a lot of money who's got a lot of secrets. He's not releasing his tax returns. Trump isn't. I like to do a self-smell test every day, and I smell myself. I don't smell like an 88-year-old man. I smell like a 25-year-old, surfer dude. Thank you.
So Samsung is encouraging consumers globally to stop using the Galaxy Note 7 due to battery issues.
I heard, yeah, and I heard that there was a problem with a lot of people are kind of like hooked on technology. It's like everyone wants to upgrade. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I haven't even gotten a cell phone since they were this big. I thought that was the coolest thing when they got down to this size. Like, yeah, man, I got a cell phone. This is so cool. And then they got bigger. I was like, I got a desktop. I got tablets are coming on board. What do I need a cell phone that's 6 inches? But apparently a lot of you are caught in traffic or at the airplanes, at the airport, getting yourself frisked by the unprofessional TSA service. And you're standing there watching, whatever you are watching. I'm not going to get into your personal habits, but I see your whole love of the 5, 6, and 7. How big is the is the iPhone 7. Does anybody know the size screen?
7-inch.
It's a
That's why it's
7-inch.
called a 7.
Thanks. I was kind of wondering about that. Well, now that the iPhone 7 is
Sure.
7 inches,
I don't know. I think that's the case.
Do you think that's some sort of a symbolic thing? We're going bigger and bigger. Pretty soon we'll be carrying large tablets around.
So do you believe this is a picture from Mars?
No, I don't. No, it's not. It's a small area, a canyon inside of the Arizona, Colorado River area. I've been there. I saw that. That's the Colorado River, yeah. It's not Mars. No. There are rock types like that along the Colorado River and in Arizona and New Mexico. Stalactites. We don't know why Jackson's getting trolled, but we don't really care either. Old scratch. Dave, do you know that no one has ever drilled any deeper than 10 miles into the earth at most? I know. You know, they have gone 10 miles below the Marianas Trench, which is pretty cool. You know, if Sarah gets her way, those chicken nuggets will be mass-produced using genetic modification and petri dishes. She doesn't mind it as long as it doesn't have Botox or glyphosate in it. I'm good. Thank you.
I have this vision that you just get the nutrition that you need.
It's chicken meat,
That's
protein.
tasty.
It grows on its own in a petri dish. I just don't think I'd eat it. I mean, between that and a roach, I'd have a hard time. I'd probably go with the pink slime. Thank you, Sarah. Isn't she nice to give me such a big break? Thank you. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Enjoy. There's a hamburger patty in there for you, and a Yukon Gold potato, and cauliflower and peas. Well, it's there. It's on the stove and it's hot. You don't have to eat. Yeah, we bake these prefabricated burgers that they sell, you know. They come like 10 in a pack and they're $8.99 or something. No, that's Sarah. She's not my sister. Read this in your English voice. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, yes. I should do this with my glasses on. A smart man knows what to say. A wise man knows whether or not to say it. You know, I don't want to be accused of being a narcissist looking at myself on the screen. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. Thank you, though. That was cool. Can't stop because we won't stop. I am receiving my orders from John Uncaged. He is giving me information. I must now play the music song that is noted for our party and its efforts. If I appear a little stiff, I am currently defragmenting my hard drive. Hold, please. Can't stop because we won't stop. Correct. Queuing. A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night.
All right, let's do it. A little taste of political motivation.
We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president.
We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. Can't stop and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight.
All right. Uncle Don, what do you mean? I'm not making fun of anybody. Has anybody seen Hillary smoke pot ever? I don't think anybody ever has seen Hillary smoke pot. I bring you the statistics. 400,000 people have died of tobacco per year in America. 100,000 of alcohol. And all legal drugs, 20,000. And marijuana, 0. So I have to ask you, has anybody ever heard anyone ask Hillary, have you ever smoked marijuana? She doesn't vape. I mean, come on. Have you ever heard her? Oh, she has throat cancer? Oh, that explains it. You got DDoS? What happened, Planet X? Would you just come back from a DDoS encounter? No, I never sold cocaine. God, I just lived in Venice in my van. Back in the day, yeah, it was fun. I wanted to feel what it was like to be an American. As opposed to a middle-class suburban young man, I wanted to step out, so I picked up a van on sale, made a few modifications to it, and there I am, out there on the coastline, Venice, and I traveled up and down the coast, and it was great fun. It really was. It was white, though. It wasn't, I guess, what is this? Puke green? Yeah, it's such a weird, odd color. It's the color from the 50s, actually. You want to take a dump? Well, why don't you just say so? You can go to the bathroom now. Go ahead. So, we have a person who says, 7OM says, he's just saying, phlegm is from the lungs, not the throat. Are you a doctor? Do you have knowledge of turquoise blue? Yeah, there you go. You're absolutely right. You are correct, sir. Yeah, can you imagine? Nobody ever died. You know something? In 2011, they did a study of how many people died on the highway due to alcohol. In America, 17,000 deaths from alcohol. That same year, they checked how many people had marijuana. Of those 17,000, and 103 of them had it. Marijuana and alcohol. So they all blame the 103 on the marijuana, not the alcohol. 17,000 people were drugged out in 2011. And this is probably true for 2012, 2013, etc. So marijuana doesn't lead to car accidents. That's absurd. But I do agree there should be legal limits. I just think the legal limit in Washington is way too low. It's 5 nanograms per milliliter. 5 nanograms per milliliter of THC, of gold. 5 nanograms of THC versus 1 milliliter of blood. And that's a seriously low number. They say as high as 15 nanograms gives you slight impairment. So it really is artificially too low. We're going to change that. Okay, we have a person who's willing to eat Hillary's phlegm wad for $750. Hillary, if you're listening and you still have your glass of water in it, now is the time to make a quick $750. That is the most disgusting thing anyone could have ever written in the show. Hey, have you seen the hole in her mouth? Well, it's there for a reason. Now, even though this is her Android version, she has a large hole in her tongue, which they believe is designed to keep the tongue from swallowing. Yeah, well, they can hook it easily. They can go in with a special hook. The doctor with the diazepam probably has a little hook in it to grab that tongue. Is that a heart attack scar? Are you familiar with medical procedures? Guess 687. You know more about this than I do, so why don't you just go ahead and tell us? What do you think it is? A heart attack scar? Hook it. Tongue piercing gone wrong? Bad political candidates gone wild, possibly. Damasade tonga ring damage. Oh, Damasan. Breeze says Dabas had a tongue ring damage. Ah, okay. Photoshop. We have a Photoshop. One Photoshop. Do we have two Photoshops? Do we have two? We have two. Well, possibly one Photoshop. Not old. She started touring with the press crew. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt that she's caught a cold from a reporter. Oh. You're still living in denial land. Duct tape. Our resident Democrat. No offense, man, but I know you wear that proudly. Yes, I know. You still strongly believe in Hillary. You just love her. I know you're going to vote for her, duct tape. I know you like Bill Clinton, too. You know anything about Clinton's Arkansas, the Mena, Arkansas, cocaine, drug running days? Do you have any research in that area? No. You know anything about the 56 plus people that died inadvertently from knowing the Clintons and were about to testify? Like James McDougal when he was going to testify on Ken Starr's case and put Bill and Hillary in the slammer, and then he dies of a heart attack one day before? No. You're not even looking at the big picture, man. Corruption at the highest levels. My teeth are too straight. Her teeth are too straight, too. Yeah, I think that's a robot or something. I'm not sure what that is. It's like, that's some sort of a major Da Vinci veneer with a massive amount of pancake makeup. I mean, it almost looks like an android. I wonder where that picture came from. Oh, no, 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 no. I did it again. Missed it by that much. 99? Get me my webcam. Phone. Oh, Max. Okay, hold on, please. We have interruption. We have some coitus interruptus going on in our show. There's a gyrating figure behind the marijuana. Oh, will someone please get Hillary some pot? She could sure use it. You know, I often wondered if Parkinson's is alleviated with pot, you know. They're saying that actually organ rejection benefits from cannabinoids. The newest study shows that people who have organ transplants actually benefit from the cannabinoids. Yes, the cannabinoids. I sound like a German doctor. Well, when the cannabinoids are entering your system, you certainly have a better chance of fighting things with your immuno-boosting effect. Your thoughts on Aleppo? I think Aleppo is a wonderful town. I'd love to not visit sometime, but it is second largest city of commerce in Syria and is the one that's seriously in distress right now from the civil war that our country started. I believe that the rebel forces have been starting and fomenting problems against Bashar al-Assad all along. I'm telling you, I know you're wondering what I'm doing, but my frubber gets a little bit dehydrated, so the people at the factory told me to keep the frubber a little bit more lubricated. You didn't realize that frubber was this supple, did you? I'm not disrespecting anybody. We know that she's got problems. We know that you Democrats are gonna get around to realizing it when she has serious problems in the future. I will stop all the refugees from Obama's letting in. Yeah, we have a no refugee policy. Yes. We believe that the refugees are going to pose a huge danger to our country. And we have a zero refugee. So we will stop them at the borders and we will deal with their trial. We'll treat them just as we would anyone under Geneva Convention law, and certainly modify that to in any way appease the Supreme Court ruling on a trial. So Sarah suggested that we give the Border Patrol supervisors the federal judgeship that they need so they can make the decision rather quickly about their asylum. If they are given admittance, they'd have to go through the route we call fast-track naturalization, meaning they would have to pay a hefty fee, like $10,000, to become a U.S. citizen. We're not just going to give anybody a free pass for coming in here. David, you speaking with a Negro dialect. What you talking about, man? You know, I can talk any way I want. That's the thing. It's hard to imagine you people actually saying I can't say something in a country dedicated to freedom of speech. What if a president dies before the election? If, for instance, something terrible happens, God forbid, there is a simple plan to put a secondary agent in there. Possibly the VP would run as the president. Kane would run against Pence. You're lying about everything. Some of you just come in here to lie, don't you? We're going to take you out. To dinner. A bullet to the brain is kind of naturally causing a death? Yeah. Well, you watch a lot of TV. Sorry, man, that apartment is not for rent. You know nothing about politics, right? Wrong. I am secretly spending time at night listening to the conversations of people in politics that we are able to listen to. UN meetings. I'm challenging myself to try to push myself into the dark shadows of bureaucratic nonsense. I've sat through meetings in all kinds of different areas, county meetings. I've sat through city hall meetings. I understand politics from the ground up. And I can tell you it's rotten to the core. And that's why I'm pushing for a third party. So yeah, I'm somebody different. Get used to it. Video that, right. My computer does not run in Linux, but thank you for suggesting that. Video that shows how gummy bears are, this is bizarre, are made might change your mind about eating them. So gummy bears have something weird going on. Aren't they from like horseshoe or, I'm not sure. Gelatin is produced, protein formed by boiling skin, bones, and connective tissue of animals like pigs. Oh, this looks like fun. That's gross. So they're going in reverse from the gummy bear in your mouth to the process. Oh, that's gross. It's being sucked back into the system. Oh, that is incredible. Oh, gummy. It's actually a... Oh no. No. Oh, no. Where did that come from? Connective tissue of animals like pigs? Oh, no. Gross me out. I'll put some other background music on this. Something more trendy. Give it a little bit more fun. There's our link library. Oh my gosh, it's coming out of animal waste material. Hides. Ooh. Perfect timing on the music. Oh no. I think I've almost seen enough. All right, what do we have? There you are. There's your gummy bear. All right, so some of you Muslims and Jewish people who have been eating gummy bears, you need to go right away to your mosque or your synagogue and immediately repent to your Lord for eating of the pig. Gummy bear guilt trip. I would never call off something that's going to succeed. What are you talking about? Facebook, the Holderness family. What do you, is this some sort of a weird, sinful cult? You down with ADD? Okay. They're going to dive into ADD. Are you down with ADD? That's what I'm ADD. Okay, let's take a look at this video. This could be weird. Be prepared for something weird. I've not seen this. The Holderness family down. Are you down with ADD? So you're wondering how we're going to stay out of war. Of course, we're going to try to divert your attention because we don't want to talk about that. That's the whole point of doing the show. Is we're trying to stop war, not talk about it. Playing, but it's not playing. I think I'm down with the show. Yeah, we're going to turn that off now until it plays. The Electric Mechanic Solo Battery Electric Vehicle. You eat pork, it's over. You'll never have 72 virgins and be sent boiling in hell. Oh, Dr. Meow, are you Muslim? I'm frozen?
What? Daddy, you left the remote in the fridge again.
You down with ADD?
Yes, OAP.
You down with ADD?
Yes, OAP.
You down with ADD?
Yes, OAP.
Who's down with it? That is the biggest squirrel I've ever seen.
Ah.
Okay, ADD. Oh, yes, I have it. So how do I recap it? To make sure we don't space out our rapping. A for attention, D's for deficit disorder. So what's it like now? Cue the recorder. It's sort of like a, well, imagine mama's telling you a story, but over to the side there's something furry. Now other people, they just shut it out and listen to their mother, but our brains are focused on the other. Check it. You ever try to listen to a teacher teaching ya, but in your mind you have a really awesome idea? Oh, wait.
You know, that passed the 5-second attention span limit that we have here. So I played it, man. I played it, K-Mac Blubber. I played it, my man. That dude raps better than LL Cool J. I know what I'm talking about. I'll be playing that for y'all later on in the show. Alright? Yeah, we're going to catch that on the after show. Right now, we're going to put it on the hold on ice. You know what I'm talking about. Alright? Here I am trying to be all homey and everything. Would you like to go back to Hillary's Hole? Alright. Great song. It was good. Stop, he, black voice, and do the face. Okay, do the face. What's the face? Clinton expresses regret for saying half of Trump's supporters are deplorable. Yeah. She really meant all of them. I'm just kidding. But no, I really think that the Trump supporters who are mindless to not hear about me, to not know about me, to not have the ability to decide who to vote for, the originator of the 10 ideas that Trump stole from me, or the imitator. I mean, they have to decide that. It's kind of ridiculous to turn away votes and call people names. So I think putting out the statement they were deplorable was stupid. Just bad politics. Well, you know, suing somebody who is already deep into debt, who can borrow lots of money and sue me back is kind of stupid. I would only countersue if he were to sue me for something. I know third-party candidates are always mentioned, but remember, they've already put Gary Schill Johnson and Jill Schill Stein in the third-party category. So they've locked that up, and if you really wonder what's going on, it's called censorship against the American people. You are an American person, so you're being censored, just like I am. So we're kind of in this together, kind of holding hands, singing, "Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya." Yeah, Gary Johnson was Jesse Ventura's mistake to get him in the debates, I know. But he's just stuck out there as a shill. He's the guy who doesn't understand Syrian geography and didn't know what Aleppo was. And he's the guy who also said that children should be forced at gunpoint to have vaccinations. Dude, you can't even spell that name right. You know, it's not okay to be ashamed to be white. No, it's wrong. If you've been led down that road with your liberalism and listening to the Democrats, welcome to the centrist political movement. I had to go through a lot of deep thinking to come up with the phenomenal and overwhelming impersonation of Barack Obama called Broken St. Obamas. And my goal was to actually use freedom of speech to the highest degree possible. And I had to ask, do I have any hatred toward black people? No, I don't. And I've been in a lot of situations where my life was threatened by black people, but I don't harbor anger toward them. You don't have photo proof of anything, man. But I can tell you that just living in Los Angeles puts you in a very vulnerable position with all kinds of people, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I had a white guy jump out of traffic one day, and he looked like a mobster, and he threatened to kill me because I cut his car off or something. I mean, you have a lot of situations when you live in Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, the city. So I didn't think anything of it because I grew up in a metropolitan area, a cosmopolitan area, that doing a blackface would be called racist, especially considering so many actors had done it previously. Uganda has a quake, and you're reporting that? Okay. Well, there's a few huts that might shake. I don't talk about people that I'm not involved with. I don't discuss other chatters on other shows. I don't discuss my family members that I don't talk to. Yeah, admittedly, I could do a melanin injection and probably shave about 10 years off my life. Yeah. Did I say huts? I'm sorry, I meant shacks. Excuse me. But I'm not here to have white guilt. The song John Denver sings? I'm sorry for the way things are in China. God. China can deal with China. Africa can deal with Africa. If I can help in any way, we've got to solve America's problems first. And we got problems, big time. I would rather talk about chemtrails than broken St. Obamas. I'd rather you were awake to the idea that this is the beginning of a chemtrail and this is what it turns into. I'd like to talk about the dangers of chemtrails. But you, on the other hand, would rather talk, about something that's interesting, like a guy who does blackface. But I'd rather talk about the issues. Gene Wilder did blackface. It's not a big deal. And I've never said a racial slur in my life. Yeah. There's a finger pointing my ear. Yes, I know. I am obviously a chemtrail. I might as well call myself a living human chemtrail. I've been out occasionally breathing chemtrails. I'll admit that. But you're breathing them too. I'm not the only one. And here's the health ranger. Yes, indeed. He's coming out again talking about DEET and this terrible thing they're spraying in the air, targeting Zika. And it's basically creating the same symptoms as Zika itself. Jewish people are Hebrews, those that practice the religion. There are Jewish people that are Reformed Jews that don't practice the religion. Thank you for asking. But we're all, trying to be nice here and not make a big issue of a person's religion here. We believe that freedom of religion is paramount. Donald Trump doesn't get that. First he goes after Muslims, then he'll turn on his own Jewish friends, no doubt, while he's accepting Zionist money, just like Hitler did. Hitler received a ton of money from Zionists and in the process ended up killing Jews. So what does that tell you? Hitler's father was Jewish. Think about it. Cancer from chemicals, 3 household products that are known carcinogens. Wow. I knew that this was happening. Most of the products in the market aren't even tested by any independent labs. They're requiring affidavits from the companies. So S.C. Johnson, the family company, simply writes an affidavit when they produce some sort of an air freshener. Yeah. Cancer is caused by changes in cell DNA. Some changes may be passed down from our parents in the form of genetic defects, while others could be caused by environmental factors. Nature versus nurture. The substances, situations, and exposures that can lead to cancer are called carcinogens, according to the American Cancer Society. While some carcinogens don't affect your DNA directly, they can lead to cancer in other ways. For instance, by causing cells to divide at a faster rate than normal, which could in turn increase the chances of changes in your DNA. Exposures to substances that are labeled as carcinogens have different levels of cancer-causing potential. Oh, here we go, air fresheners. Oh, it's about time we talked about that. That's about all we've talked about. I mean, this is the only time it's even appeared in the news in decades. Cleaning products. Possible carcinogens there. Chloroforms. 53% of cleaning products are carcinogenic. Wow. And then finally, dryer sheets. Oh, I hate those things. Oh, I think, and I've got a neighbor who's upwind from me that throws like a box at every time they do a load. And it freaks me out. I go outside and I'm trying to get a little air at night. Oh, man. I almost want to just leave because of that. Now, dealing with climate change, the first thing I'm going to do, folks who are concerned about climate change as we see it currently, like the drought in California, which I admit is a drought in California, I want all of you to know that I'm going to immediately implement a shutdown of the jets that are flying over our skies here in Washington and Oregon that are dropping chemicals. Because I believe what they're doing is they're turning Washington and Oregon into like a sponge and pulling water from other areas. So that's the first thing we're going to do to deal with the climate change coming that is directly engineered through geo-weather modification. That's something that's been happening, and I don't think we can just sit back and ignore it. Chemtrails are basically a big part of our world that we live in. So here's just one wing dispersing a chemtrail. Because condensation only affects one wingtip, right? It's sarcastic. They're really saying that, yeah, you can see these things popping out of planes all over the place. So we'll stop that. Who committed suicide? John? Hitler? No, Hitler lived till 1962 in Argentina. He never died in Austria. They had no proof of his body there at all. Well, it's not that I'm against immunization. PSXIS, not PS1. I'm concerned. Thank you, Mad Dog. I'm concerned that the immunization process, the vaccination process, is actually scientifically faulty. It works in certain cases, specific areas, but they just found out, and this is a story that just aired on Natural News. Actually, yeah. The Health Ranger just ran this story. They found glyphosate in most of the vaccines. Yeah, Roundup. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Let me see if I can get that story. This is a huge story. This Conspiracy Daily update. Let's see if this is the one that runs it. Yes, check this out. Now, if you're a big person in favor of vaccines, I never said that vaccines themselves were bad. I really have a problem with the forced vaccination concept, all right, just so you know. And there are people that are doing it in stages with their kids that seem to have a better success rate, less autism and ADHD. I do believe there is a connection, though. Research scientist Anthony Samsel has confirmed that glyphosate, a key active chemical in Monsanto's herbicide Roundup, has been found in most vaccines. Now, I'm going to give you the link to this, and you can go from there. Wow. In fact, I'm going to open up another page and just get back to that one. It's all staged. Yes, it is duct tape. Thank you. No, he didn't kill himself, 9611. It's a known fact that Adolf Hitler escaped through the Vatican rat lines to Argentina. You should ask Pope Francis about this. He's the one who has first-hand knowledge of Adolf Hitler moving over there. The FBI has, on record, over 200 accounts of him in Argentina. Yes, and he died in 1962. It wasn't Operation Paperclip, but we have to ask the big question, and this is going back again to the FBI and what they're doing, is why did the FBI protect Adolf Hitler all those years? Why didn't they act to pull him in? Don't cry for me, Argentina. Yeah. So why didn't he get away with it? And the FBI just completely ignored all of these cases, and there's more than enough evidence that It's weird. Oh, thank you. He was New World Order, yeah. It was called the Final Solution. And the Rothschilds were using him and the Queen to stop the Bolshevik Revolution from entering the Western European nations. And it kind of backfired on him when Hitler became kind of a Donald Trump character. As we see Donald Trump, he emulates Hitler. I'm fast. But let's take a look here at the evidence from the FBI that confirms that he was actually in a bunker. He didn't die. He fled to Argentina. Stunning admission. Okay, here it is. We actually have a photograph of him as an older man in Argentina. There he is. Newly declassified FBI documents. April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide. No, not true. And here's a redacted copy of the FDI, 200 pages. I think they even have a link to a PDF file there. Here you go, check it out. Hitler died in Argentina. So the government doesn't want you to know any of this. So it makes you wonder, why are they censoring David? Because David talks about things the government doesn't want anyone to know about. David has a show every single day, except Sunday. Except tomorrow we're going to have a show on 9/11, and I take on the big issue of, is 9/11 an inside job? Yet nobody in the mainstream media will touch the subject. Donald Trump will not say those words. And I'm willing to go all out to talk about these issues and really come to some common knowledge, at least. Not agreement, but knowledge. So that all of us are on the same table. Tim Osman. That's right, Tim Osman. The code name for the AKA Osama bin Laden, working for the CIA ever since the Mujahideen. We can talk about that tomorrow night or on Monday. Was Osama bin Laden involved in 9/11? There's no real tangible evidence that he was. The interview they played right after the big reveal that they said Saudi Arabian terrorists had done this, right after that big reveal, they played a video. He never actually said that he was behind it. He was just saying it was a good idea. No, bin Laden is not at the bottom of the ocean. He is, according to Edward Snowden, and if you believe that all the different things he leaked, information he leaked, Osama bin Laden is not in any way dead. He's still alive, living in the Bahamas, he says, according to him. There were eyewitnesses. I don't have a security detail, no. I have a top security system, though. And I'm fully capable of defending myself with extreme prejudice. Right. But Osama bin Laden floating to the top is not ever going to happen. I don't believe the story. It was all shuttled through to cover up Barack Obama's birth certificate issue. And now I understand Rudy Giuliani is saying that Trump thinks that Obama was born in the U.S. after all. So Trump just picked up the birther issue, which I was running for 4 years prior, just to get noticed. It's amazing. But yeah, if this guy bubbles up anytime soon, it would be a shocking thing. I am the security. I'm my own security detail. Yeah. But yeah, there's very little evidence that he died at that event. I can show you conclusive evidence that tomorrow I'll talk about that, where I could do it tonight actually, but there's no way that the imposter, which looked a lot like him, was him. Well, duct tape is not a government shill. He's just an incredibly democratic person. You can read the report all you want. Go for it. No, check it out. Guess 2-2. Why would bin Laden have been thrown in the ocean? Yeah, that made no sense. They just got rid of his body, and we never did see pictures of his dead body, did we? The news ran a story of yeah, bin Laden died just for a second there in Tora Bora, and then he didn't die. Did I say Obama? I meant Osama. Thank you. It's easy to get those two names mixed. I mean, we're talking about known Muslims. Obama's still alive, yes. Andy Kaufman, I saw some pretty interesting stuff about him. I was vaccinated. I got 7 vaccines, yeah. I didn't get 74 vaccines like they want to give kids today. I don't think you guys who are so pro-vaccine understand the dangers of mass vaccinations and herd inoculations. But you'd find all that out with Clinton in Hillary land. Yeah, she wants forced vaccinations. Hey, Busy. Yep. Fred Mertz made a good point. The Navy aircraft carrier, the Carl Vinson. The Navy aircraft carrier, the Carl Vinson, carried Osama bin Laden's body to sea in the North Arabian Sea and dumped the body off, and not one person had a camera or took a picture or saw him being dumped off. So isn't that an awesome image? This is the DD's video image library that we showed you earlier. Let me see if I can get a link to that. This guy's phenomenal. Yeah, I don't seem to have... Oh, here it is. Here is the Galerie Extraordinaire of DD's. The Art of David D's. Incredible man. Incredible artist. Extraordinary. All right, so if you're of the belief that you want forced vaccinations, then yeah, you probably would want Hillary as your president. Or Donald, or somebody, you know, in the New World Order. It looked like Disneyland on acid, didn't it? YouTube Paul McCartney's son says he died in 1966. That's correct. Paul McCartney, the original Paul McCartney, died in 1966, November 9th. And he was replaced with an impersonator, a man by the name of Billy Shears Campbell, a Louisiana man. So he had to develop a Liverpoolian accent or something. But he's great. Man, he plays Paul McCartney better than Paul McCartney could have played Paul McCartney. After being knighted, I don't think they're going to retract the statement that he's not Paul McCartney. But thanks for asking. You know, I got to ask you to not say nasty things about Sarah in the chat room over there at iVlog. Thanks. And guest 27, your discussion of sex is irrelevant. Well, I heard about Andy Kaufman being a person who faked his death, like Bill Hicks, when he became Alex Jones. And I actually have a video of his daughter, allegedly, speaking out. And she's been debunked, okay? She's been debunked. She actually faked the whole thing. Here's a supposed picture of Andy Kaufman's alleged daughter. Watch this.
Like, I'm not trying to prove anything, you know? It's just that, like, he told me this because he was really sad about his dad, and it's very strange for me, too, because I didn't get to meet him. I never got to meet you. I mean, it would make you my uncle.
So do you feel like I'm your uncle?
I don't feel like you're my uncle because I don't know you, but you have the similar thingy, like eyes and stuff.
Does he have a message? And he sent you, he did a message.
Well, he didn't tell me specifically to impart anything, but I just know that he's so, like, excited about this. I didn't know that he watched all of the stuff on YouTube because he hid everything from us or on the internet. But then when we had a million billion discussions because it was really crazy.
All right, she's been debunked as a person who's been in and out of the New York comedy scene for years. She's been seen. She pretends to be somebody just to get noticed. Yeah. So the Andy Kaufman that I grew to love, and one of my favorite comedians of all times, his work was exemplary. I really liked it. It was completely free.
I've heard all these things you've been saying about me on television. You want to wrestle me? You want to wrestle me, Memphis style? All right, fine. I'm not afraid of you, Mr. Lawler, because let me tell you something. It's true, I only wrestle women, but I've wrestled women that are a lot bigger and stronger than you. Matter of fact, they're probably smarter than you because you don't have any brains. You're from Memphis, Tennessee. All you do is plow the fields and farm and the farm and the...
What you wanted to experience in this lifetime.
Das ist einfach ein Teil von dem, was du in diesem Leben erleben wolltest.
It doesn't mean anything.
Es bedeutet nichts.
It doesn't hurt anything.
Es schadet nicht.
Just an experience.
Es ist nur eine Erfahrung.
Nothing wrong.
Es ist nichts verkehrt.
Nothing missing.
Es fehlt nichts.
So, the story goes on and on. I mean, that guy claimed to be Nanny Kaufman, but I think he died. Whereas I think Bill Hicks has gone on to make $9 million a year playing Alex Jones of Prison Planet and InfoWars. And when he's talking to the governor, Jesse Ventura, he's talking about the Bilderberg Group, and he's telling people that these places are there and they're in control of the world. Well, why would they do that? Well, Governor, we're sure that the elitists are dominating the world and they want to depopulate. They want to get rid of you, Governor. Why would they want to do that? So we've got a lot of people who actually really don't know that Alex Jones was replaced. Oh, sorry. 10-4. He was replaced a long time ago in the 1990s. Great show. Thank you. So we do a full-on reveal of that in the evening, and I would gladly bring that clip to you and show you the comparison of his face before it morphed into Alex Jones today, which is Bill Hicks, completely. And Bill Hicks could not have died of pancreatic cancer insofar as only half of 1%, age 34, ever die of pancreatic cancer. I mean, the likelihood of him dying of pancreatic cancer is extremely low. So he's most likely went on. 13 dead, 200 injured in a Tanzanian earthquake. Let's get to the news there. Just a second. Okay, let's take a look at this article. Oh, I have to find something first. Okay. At least 13 people were killed and 203 injured in northwest Tanzania when a 5.7 magnitude earthquake hit the country Saturday. All right, this is Uganda. Okay, the toll has climbed from 11 people dead to 13, from 192 injured to 203. For now, the situation is calm and under control, said Kinawillo, who was reached by telephone. Some people have been discharged from the hospital already. Okay, good. So the government has the tools necessary to stop dissent if there is dissent against a war of any sort. And whenever somebody goes out of their way to be an anti-war activist, they always have to be worried that anything can happen. For instance, this.
Also, I had to find, one time they wanted me to find out if there was such a thing as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack, that would kill someone, but it would appear that they had a heart attack. I did find such a thing.
Does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
The poison was frozen into some sort of dart, and then it was shot at very high speed into the person. So when it reached the person, it would melt inside them, and the only thing would be like one little tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle left or anything like that in the person.
But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was hit.
Okay, so they got the ability to kill somebody. Anybody. So why wouldn't they use it against somebody who is speaking out against the government? Case in point, the real Alex Jones. Yes, you're looking at the real Alex Jones in 1997 on the left. You're looking at the new and improved Alex Jones on the right, who's much older. I'm not making this up. I seriously believe they got rid of the real Alex Jones. I'm absolutely convinced of it. Yeah. Reagan shooter John Hinckley has been released. Can you believe this? No, it's proof that our government has got some sort of complicity behind this, because John Hinckley Jr. shot our president and now he's walking. Billy Kraken, thank you. Interesting name, Donald. You're going to Seattle? You want to invite you to an opportunity to speak? If you'd be willing to endorse me? No, not going to happen. David, I sent a message to you in YouTube. I'll look at it. Thank you. Let me go there. Master Meatball has a link to the House bill on Saudi Arabia. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Okay, Leather. Yeah, I need to worry about America, not other countries, right? Hillary has been breathing chemtrails and looks like she's getting sick. Good point. I have some bad news. Oh, Obama administration backs a plan to relinquish internet control October 1st. Yeah, I heard about that. Thank you, Guest 495. Yeah, I heard that this has been in the works to take away the ICANN network from our control as a country. I believe it's a UN directive. I think it's like a World Bank directive. They just want to take it away from the US so that they can manage it completely outside of our control. No, I'm not discrediting anything. These diatribes on Alex Jones are very effective. Look at the nose. The nose. His different nose entirely. Chin structure, outline, high cheekbones. I mean, frankly, you might as well say I'm the real Alex Jones. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but I look more like this guy than Alex Jones does. Trying to get my head in the right position. My passion for politics is obvious. Thank you. The other guy is definitely not Alex Jones. And he's the guy that's been out there almost all the time now. So yeah, you've got to ask the big question. Did they use that deadly gun against this guy? Did they take him out? What happened to his body? I'll show you a picture of me in 1997. I don't believe in lizard people, no. I don't believe in flat earth garbage. I mean, all that stuff is a diversion to take your mind off of the truth. Our government has been used by the big bankers, the World Bank, to control and dominate all of their monetary acreage. All the central banks in the world are basically owned by the Rothschilds. And we have a situation where, we have a situation where the Rothschilds have purchased over 160 banks worldwide. They want to control the central bank of countries like Syria. I can't hold it any closer now. No, I'm not. No, they're not the same. Are you serious? You want me to leave them on the screen? I can't do that. I was on the screen long enough. I mean, I got other issues to deal with, like, where is Osama bin Laden's body? Yeah, and how come we didn't get a chance to see it? You saw clearly that was not Alex Jones, and I'll play the video later tonight to validate that. Why would a guy doing stand-up go into making a lot of money? Well, you'll see it in the video. He wasn't making enough money. He was offered a lot of money as a producer. And when you're offered a paycheck of $8-9 million a year, or even $5 million a year, and you're a struggling comedian, most of these people are in it for money, I'm telling you. My learning ability test results are weak. I will agree. But I'd already attained a genius level in systems analysis by the time I was 15 years old. So like many people who have unique geniuses, my genius is in analyzing large problems and coming up with solutions fast. But you were analyzing my learning abilities. That's interesting. Yeah, I was quite shocked at the results. They're very broad spectrum, and they really give me a good analysis of my intelligence and my areas of weakness. I'm not going to stand here and say that I'm perfect. I would be a complete liar if I said I was perfect. You know, I don't do a lot of focus on acquiring new learning abilities. Obviously, I've been around programming for the past 15 years, and I honestly don't program. I can tweak code, but I don't program code. I just don't have the will to do it. So obviously, I've got issues there. I wouldn't doubt it. Here is the person who can learn better than I can in learning how to program. I was going to get this back up again.
Here, I'll do it.
Thanks. Anyway, I'm just telling you that because I never really embraced the idea of becoming a programmer, I'm not a programmer. So, I mean, hey, I like to work in the garden. I like to design renewable energy solutions for my home and for export. I do things that many people would say is ingenious, but at the same time, I'm not going to spend my time doing something I don't want to do. And if I have to learn something new, like programming, to do it, I'm less inclined to do that. I'm sure I'm no different than anybody else out there. Could it happen to you? Meet the average Americans forced into poverty by accidents, ill health, or tragic misfortune in a searing photo essay exploring the crisis of the country's hidden poor. Very interesting. Fascinating. This woman has lost everything. She's sitting in a burned out carapace of her home. That is an apocalyptic picture. Look at that. 3 legs. Yeah. Oh, this is what happened. Kate, 3 legs, left the abusive father of her children to live with her mom, sister, and their kids. She was getting a checkup when the family's trailer burned down, destroying everything they owned. The Federal Emergency Management Agency sells condemned trailers to Native Americans to solve the housing shortage. So she might find some help there. Darlene Rosas, who was trained as a nurse, could no longer work after she was injured and disabled. She lives alone in a trailer in South Dakota without running water and shares her $800 disability check with her 2 children. She said, if you have a job, you lose benefits. If you live on welfare, you become a victim of the system. Wow, this is quite a photo essay, Sarah. Look at that. This talks about this gentleman. His name is Ronald Major. Lost his home in Hurricane Katrina. He now lives under the Claiborne Avenue Bridge in New Orleans and waits for free food that volunteers hand out on the weekends. Major often uses a wheelchair because he suffers from a heavy limb. And that beautiful Cadillac Esplanade that he's driving is his home. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. Terry Fitzpatrick, no, I was kidding about the other guy. I don't know what's going on with him. Lives with his girlfriend in a tent near a shopping plaza in Athens, Georgia to get his peace and quiet away from other homeless people in the city. He considers himself a city camper instead and hoped to move forward with his life after his mother's death. Wow, he has a girlfriend. Amazing. Okay, well, I have a girlfriend, and she's here to spend some time with you folks. Thanks so much for joining us on our anti-war rally.
No, I won't say it.
We're not living in a tent, no.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if I'd be your girlfriend if you were living in a tent.
You see this thing that keeps coming in here?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. It's something I'm going to purge, though.
You just ban it.
Well, I'm just not going to do anything with it right now.
I'll ban it.
No, not right now. We don't want to let anyone know what it is. See, I've already made attention.
No, I've already banned it. Earlier that it came in and I banned it.
Okay. So, hello, Eddie Brickle. Nice to meet you. Yeah. How are you? What does Sarah see in me? Well, I'm a homemaker. I love the home. I'm a person who really likes to take care of things. I've got a fantastic way about me of managing money. Not many people can manage money as well as I can. I've taught Sarah some things about money management that helped her in life. So it's kind of a nice thing. ED, Bray Cull. Okay, Edie. Thank you.
Okay. That would be good if we save money. That would be good. All right. Oh, I missed something. Thanks, Edgar. Dave, you have 2 questions. What's David's views on LSD, and you want to know what? Well, David thinks he'd only have any views on LSD if it was a super majority wanted to legalize it. And the answer to your other question is no, and I'm going to kick you for that. All right. Mic her up, please. Sarah just has to speak up because David has more deeper resonance to his voice, and so the microphone doesn't always pick me up, but it picks David up. It's just the way it is. Okay, go have fun at miniature golf, Duct Tape. I always used to like miniature golf, but I haven't played it in a very long time. You can hear me fine, so even if I talk a softer voice, it's very good. Oh, thank you, 997. All right, and then David has another stream going. Well, I'm trying to pull it up. There we go. Fantastic. That's just the way I am. Oh, okay. I'm clear, but a little bit softer. What's a UN program designed to depopulate the Earth? Yes. Well, I know other people that live in my town that have much longer hair than me. You can vote for whoever you want. There's a secret ballot, 811. Yes, let the lagging begin. It's 8:15. Let's see. Here it comes. Dropped frames detected. Reboot. Frozen. Always happens at 8:15. Stuck. Mute. Alright, make some popcorn. Chill out. 8:15 is a perfect time for you to grab some snack. If you can still hear me. And then come back in about 5 to 10 minutes and it'll all be great. Just the way it goes. Wow. You guys have some like strange things you're saying. Glad that that's working. "15 years after 9/11, the jihadist threat looms larger than ever across the globe, according to the Washington Post. Yeah, I will continue the censoring madness as long as people say negative things about me. Oliver Stone wants Barack Obama to pardon Edward Snowden. Viewer count off, viewer count on, off, on, off. Okay, good. I don't know if it's Vaughn or what it is, but all I know is it always happens at 8:15. Lots of different things are happening. No Gaza war this summer. Is this a sign of progress? Possibly. That's good. I think it will be gone soon, the lag. Leatherface over at YouTube says Obama administration is backing a plan to relinquish internet control October 1st. Wow. Alright. Yay, I'm back. Yay! Did you all get at your 8:15 snack? That would be good. Well, I did just wash my hair a couple days ago. So, that's maybe why I have all the hair growth. Plus, this is like 4 years of hair growth. I haven't cut my hair in 4 years. So, trimmed it a little bit, but that's it. Well, Zelfire, I like being around people like you, so it makes it all worth it. Just the way it is. Yeah, comma always comes before the word ands. Alright, but yeah, it's I shower more often than that, but washing my hair is about once or twice a week. High CPU usage detected. I might experience performance issues. Alright. Oh, thank you. Well, I am on my own. Twice every evening. 6:30 to 7-ish and 8 to 8:30-ish. Or 8-ish to 8:30-ish. So, I take over the show then. Whoa. So a teenager is accused of pretending to be a doctor and stealing money from an 86-year-old person. Wow. You wash your hair every day, you use gel, so you have to wash it out, yeah. Alright, thanks. You're going to do a show on iVlog featuring videos of all female singers like Annie Lennox. What about Alanis Morissette? I won't be doing that. Thank you, Abnormal. The screen mirrored. What does that mean, mirrored? We are recording our screen, but it's not a mirror reflection. Maybe, let's see. This is my right hand. Do you think this is my right hand? No, that's my left hand, actually. This is my left hand. I was joking around because of the whole mirror effect. David sits on my left in the show. So, if you think it's reversed, I can flip it. It's backwards. Let me see how I can flip it, rotate it. It always seems weird if I do rotate it. Layout. Y. X and Y. No, I want it. That's just weird. I'll move that here. Oh yes, David did something to the screen, didn't he? No, I don't know if he did or not. He used commas correctly right there. Sarah, comma, is the screen mirrored. That actually is the correct use of commas. Well, and you used commas correctly too. 685, except you forgot any periods at the end. Bad Dog. Sarah's Sarah, favorite songs by Morissette or videos. I like this one. Do you remember Potty and B? He introduced me to the song Guardian by Alanis Morissette. I like that song. I like Ironic by Alanis as well. But it's called Guardian. Here, I'll type it in. I'm not playing YouTube videos because I'm streaming on YouTube right now. I don't have a favorite Motorhead song or Motorhead song either. Yeah, it's a good one. I also like who is that? I like female artists. I just don't know all of them.
Yeah, why?
You say you only hear what you want to. I only hear what I want to. Lisa Loeb, yes, that's a good one. You say I talk so all the time. So. You said that I was naive and you said that I was strong. You said that I could leave, oh. But now I know that I was wrong, 'cause I miss you. Oh, I used to like pineapple and jalapeno with my pepperoni on my pizza, because you get the sweet and the salty, sweet and the spicy and the salty all the time. I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. E prime. Okay, thanks 2393. I don't want to know that because, of course, that would get him banned. That song's by Lisa Loeb. One hit wonder, but it's a good one hit. Why not? I also like, is it Natalie Imbruglia? Natalie Imbruglia, that's a good singer. Stay. Yeah, that's a good one. 685, why are you picking on Scissor Fight? If you say anything else about Scissor Fight, I'll have to ban you. I know you'll come back and continue, but I will continue to ban you. Thanks, Abnormal. I used to sing all the time when I was a kid, like from 0 to 4. But then, oh, thank you. You can say anything you want about me and you won't get banned, per se. Unless it's about my private areas. Then I'll ban you. But then, anyway, I used to sing all the time, but then someone's like said something about my singing and then I stopped singing. But that's okay. I like singing. Thank you. I have no idea what SML stands for. Oh, I like Sheryl Crow. I like Sheryl Crow's, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. I like that song too. Oh, SML, So Much Love. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Renegade Faith. Full VIPer. Oh, cops are shelving the body cameras. They're citing an increase in data costs because their state laws require video to be stored longer if they use them. So they're like, well, do we have to store the video if we don't use them? And then they say no. Sam, who's doing a 24-hour marathon? When? On this channel? Oh, it's not going to be like us, though. Oh, I think I have some high school photos of me somewhere. Brain in the box. I like your name, Brain in the Box. I pretty much look like I do now when I was younger, except I had super dorky glasses. Really dorky glasses. That was me. Realm. I don't know who that is. Yeah, no. If David broadcasts 24 hours, he would just be broadcasting videos. Oh. Okay, Sammy's that maybe. Actually, David did say that. I forgot that he's going to play 24/7 9/11 videos. You're right. I wasn't listening to him. You're right. I know he did say that. But I mean, when I say it's not going to be like us, I mean that it's not going to be, I'm not going to be on camera, David's not going to be on camera, but the 24-hour videos will be on camera. And David will pop in and out just to show things. I really don't want to see this, but suppose I will click on it. Yeah, that was me when I was in my 20s. See? Little dorky. When I was younger, I had longer hair, but I had those same dorky glasses. Actually, maybe even dorkier. No, David is hitting buttons on the microwave. No, he just starts talking to me constantly, Bingo. Never will fade. I don't think so, UK. There you go. 860. You think it was better then or now? Yeah, actually I was in the math club when I was in middle school. I enjoyed being in the math club, but then I knew, like, at the same time, I didn't want to, like, admit that I was in the math club because I knew that was, like, super nerdy to do. And I was also in chess club. I was also in drama club. I was in a lot of clubs in middle school. But then I moved to high school, and then in the high school, all of the schools wanted to charge money, and I couldn't afford all of that, so I didn't go to any clubs in high school. I did do journalism, and I was part of this other program called Avid and things like that. All right.
Be right there.
Thank you, Eddie. Yes, they charged money for the drama club in my high school because, like, the school was going through a budget cut. And then in my high school, my like, other schools, I also didn't, I didn't have music classes when I was growing up. And I had, like, 1 year music class because I lived in a different state at the time. And then when I moved to, I grew up in California mainly. And when I moved to California, I was like, oh, I would love to learn how to play an instrument. And they're like, if you'd like to learn how to play an instrument, you could sign up for a music class. And then it was like, I had to buy my own instrument. I think I had to pay extra money. And my family could not afford that. I was 21 when I met David. 20, 21. Something right around there. But I did like playing chess. And then I went to see my grandmother in a different state over the summer. Right after I was like in chess club. My grandma played a lot of chess, and I beat her, and, like, hardly anyone beat her. And she's like, no, I don't want to play anymore. Yes, now I'm 38. Right? Yeah, I'm 38. Which is pretty crazy. But I feel good. I like my age. Yes, and then you have to pay to watch high school football and then pay for concessions and all of those things. I did end up seeing some football games, but only because I worked at the concession stand. And then I was going to get to go to my prom, but then my parents moved and I never went to prom. Alright. Oh yes, David's chair is beamed up there. It's gone. It's yes, politics are an extension of my passions because I have lots of passions. I'm gonna purge you for now, 685. Please stop saying negative things about other people in the chat. I totally disagree with you that women do not belong in the kitchen. You belong in the kitchen. And next time you tell a woman to make something for you, I hope you starve, because I hope she doesn't make anything for you ever. I think everybody should be able to make their own food. Unless you're like totally disabled. Well, I don't like to cook, but I mean, it's okay. I don't mind cooking. Yeah, well, I think you're wrong, and I don't like talking to you, so I'm getting rid of you. I do like to cook sometimes, but I don't like being rushed when I'm cooking. I like it as just like a slow thing, and so I don't cook when I don't really cook. Okay, you refreshed your IP and now you're back, and now I get to see more stuff that you have to say that I'll just try not to respond to you. Chopping vegetables can be therapeutic. David likes cooking because he likes chopping vegetables and doing all those things. I just don't. Human hair discovery stuns scientists. I wonder what this is. Yes. Well, you can serve your man if you want to, but if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to. A man can serve his woman if he wants to. That's what love is. Love is helping each other out. But if you're doing it because you feel obligated to do it, rather than because you love to do it, that's a totally different thing. Human hair may be a new alternative to DNA, which could prove to be groundbreaking finding for future criminal investigations. Scientists think they may be able to identify markers that are just as accurate by analyzing genetic mutations in the proteins in hair. They examined samples from 6 individuals, even in cases that were up to 250 years old, meaning that these proteins don't deteriorate over time all that much. They found a total of 185 hair protein markers to date, which would be sufficient to provide a unique pattern for an individual that could distinguish that person among the population of 1 million. It's pretty interesting. It'll be a game changer for forensics. Yeah. You're buying a burkini tomorrow? Is there a reason? Well, that's because I'm not a Muslim. Oh goodness. You enjoy that burkini, 985.
Well, you've been awesome. Thank you for doing all that work. Talking to some of these people has been wonderful. It's so easy for Sarah to do this. It's seamless, you know. She just loves the chat experience. When I was young, I was so involved in chatting. When I met Sarah, I was, 2 years I chatted just to meet her. It's David, not Davis. Thanks, J. Gordon Liddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's his new name. Bless you. What age did you first notice it? Yes, sir. What age did you first notice it?
I've always been a strong believer that people should take care of themselves and not rely that women shouldn't be stuck in the kitchen or things like that.
Oh, yeah, I like to do things. I like to cook. I like to clean a house. It's just what I like to do.
Women belong in the kitchen. I said, absolutely not. You should. And I said, the next time you ask a woman to go make you something, I hope she says no and that you starve to death or figure out how to cook yourself. And then Brandy, BFF, says, oh, a woman should take care of her husband and make food for him.
That's stereotyping.
I said, if you love someone, absolutely. If a man loves a woman, he can make food for her. And if a woman loves a man, she can make food for him.
Exactly.
But you shouldn't be forced to do something that you don't like to do simply because of how you were born.
Yeah. Amazing discovery about the hairs in your head. Criminal forensic investigations have depended on DNA in recent years as it's the only way to really pinpoint an individual. But a human hair discovery stuns scientists.
Yeah, so they found 100. Actually, I was just reading that they found 185 unique proteins in human hair. Perfect. And the protein, the nice thing about hair is that it doesn't degrade over time. Mm-hmm. So forensic scientists can use it to identify people that were at the scene of a crime.
Wow. That's great. Great news for forensic science. So we'll catch criminals that have been out there for 20, 30 years, especially if there's hair traces in the evidence. Okay, the man makes the coffee, though it's in the Bible. Well, why are you following something that is ancient when you should be evolving as a human being? I mean, many of you are stuck in some sort of a time warp. I feel like I'm in the Rocky Horror Picture Show and we're going to do the time warp. I mean, it's like ridiculous. Come on. I mean, if you don't move with the times, you lose. You get mowed over. I mean, I would have given up a wonderful opportunity to meet the best woman in the world if I said to the world, well, if a woman can't cook and doesn't like to do the cooking, I'm going to be with her. I'd miss out on one of the nicest people in the world. Sarah.
I mean, I will cook, but I don't like to be rushed or told what to do or anything like that.
Exactly.
It's different when you're like, hey, I want to do something. I mean, I've made waffles. I've made...
Oh, you're good.
You know,
you bake.
I do cook,
so
but...
You cook well, too. Yeah.
It's, you know, Brandy.
Hang on just a second. You want to ban?
I'm done with you. Bye.
Bye. You've been banned. Thank you. Yay, Sarah.
Oh, and she's going to go tell Miss Scruffy. Oh, do so.
Do so. Tell Miss Scruffy. Oh, no. Yeah, don't stereotype Sarah. She's a wonderful person. And you know something? I would have... I've been wondering about that.
Speaking of cooking, did you cook something? It smells smoky.
It does smell smoky, and I didn't cook anything. So what I'm thinking is maybe there's a toaster oven on, but I do have something on the stove right now. But that's not the source of the smell. I could not trace the source. It smells like oil of some sort. Like cooking oil. Doesn't it? It smells like cooking oil. That's what I think. I don't have a Note 7. I wish. Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you to have sex with anyone, especially a woman named Miss Scruffy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to force anyone to have... Even Miss Scruffy, I feel sorry for her. What a life she must lead. You know, there's a concern, Bingo, that a lot of the people who are obsessing on porn, free porn, dominating their life, many of them are fixated on transgenderism. I mean, it's almost like the country is being poisoned and we're experiencing some sort of this tie is not crooked, it's perfect. We're experiencing some sort of a phenomenon, hormonally driven, caused by chemtrails, God knows what, but something's not right. I think so too, yeah. Well, apparently Miss Scruffy Substar is the mother, that's her handle, the mother of Mark. the person who owns this site, or I guess who's running it, while somebody pays him. Oh, and down the way. Women are not and are incapable of being equal to a man, period. And I would rather walk GPD's path than walk down the path of enlightenment. I'm amazed are you even going to come into our 9/11 show, Lone Patriot, or will you be in prayer during one of your many sessions or Bible studies? David, do we agree we should all find all? No. Guess 970, that's sick. You're messed up in the head. That's a bannable offense. Did you record that? Yes, we recorded that. Thank you. Hate crimes are not to be taken seriously, except right now. You know, you can get a hate crime for the stupidest thing. Just talking back to an officer now can lead to a hate crime. I don't know what GDP's path is. Yeah, what is that? Okay, so now you're talking about an article about a pedophile. Bingo, I think it's time to go, because we don't do the pedophile discussions here. Yeah, that's not really politics, but I will talk about the amazing number of pedophiles who are foster parents in our CPS system, which needs to be banned and shut off and phased out. Yeah, I don't think CPS is doing a good job. 1,000 people a year, children, die from torture at the hands of their CPS handlers. Yeah. So it's Conspiracy Saturday. No, it's actually an anti-war rally Saturday. Dealing with the pedophile issue doesn't really cut it. Although there was a situation recently where our government seems to be protecting pedophiles in Afghanistan. That's one angle we could talk about. Well, it could be a kidnapping service for all I know. This wonderful woman, bless her heart, Nancy Schaefer. Nancy Schaefer is I think she's one of the best people ever, and she died. She and her husband allegedly were in a murder-suicide, which I don't believe happened, in which she actually was about ready to publish a 2-hour documentary on the CPS network and their connection to pedophilia in Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, Georgia. And Nancy Schaefer I did a video about her and lost all the children. There's 55,000 kids missing every year. And they're not just abducted by their family members. Here's the missing kids cover-up. We've got a whole list of videos, by the way. In case you didn't know, I have a YouTube channel, and it's available. Let me show you what we're doing, in case you haven't checked it out. Every Thursday, I do a cooking show, in which I give you low-cost recipes. Like, we just made an apple crisp for $2, Sarah and I did. But we've got all these other things. Kentucky Fried Tenders, low-cal, under $5. And these are people are watching. Anyway, getting back here, we've got at the bottom of this list here is Missing Kids Cover-Up. Oh, here's our Barack Obama, my Barack Obama impersonation, Blackface 2. Yeah. And then right over here, there's Comedy Shorts Gamer. He joined me. He likes me. Here it is. I don't have a sex addiction.
Every year in America, 55,000 kids are missing, gone, vanished. We don't know where they went. This statistic is derived from missingkids.com. Law enforcement has been unable to piece together who has taken or who has abducted these children. Police have failed. This has been investigated at the state level. At the federal level, the FBI has prevented deep investigations into these missing kids.
So I did this. I did this thing about it, and it's pretty good. It's worth looking at. Pedophiles have been very high up in the rankings. This brought in a video called. You'll see it. It's a video about the innocence of children being taken away, and a conspiracy of silence, it's called. And it was going to air on one of the networks and it was pulled because it was so controversial. They wouldn't even air it. Nancy Schaefer was a state senator in Georgia, and one of her precincts was Atlanta, Georgia, the center of this pedophile ring. They call them the Finders, and they actually are out there secretly abducting children. And Nancy got onto this and really got some in-depth work done on it. Documentary footage was all handed over to one producer, and he totally dropped it. I'm going too far now already, apparently. See, I just got a death threat. We're recording that. See that? Death threat 317 recorded. Got it. Well, these people are secretly working to use sex offenses and child slavery to control the geopolitical framework of our country. And if they think for a second that that war is a problem, believe me, they have no conscience. They'll send your children off to war just as easily as they would abduct a child. So they're getting away with this, and they have connections at the highest levels of government. Nancy Schaefer touched on that. She exposed a group of people over at Boys Town as well. She was aware of the Nebraska Boys Town, the Franklin group, and that's discussed in the video as well. And these people, the state patrol in Nebraska actually investigated it to the point where they said, hey, this is leading us to D.C. And the FBI swooped down and told the Nebraska State Police to cease and desist all of their investigations. Like, boom, like that. Now, if that doesn't imply bigger, more powerful circles at play here, I don't know what does. So that was the end of Nancy Schaefer. She was found dead with a gunshot to her back, shot in the back, and her husband was found with a gun near his hand. That's all they said. There was very little in the autopsy result. And he shot himself in the stomach. Now, there's very rarely ever an instance where a murder-suicide occurs where somebody who murders somebody and then kills themselves in the stomach, because it takes like half a day to die, to bleed out. So whatever happened at that fateful day, no, God only knows. We'll never know. But we do know that there are leads, and the person who was going to produce that video is still out there, and he's known. So there's lots of possibilities we could talk about. But phasing out the CPS is my primary goal. Prosecution is a secondary goal at this point. We want to make sure the kids are safe, and right now they're not. No, I don't hook up ATP members for dates on our site. No. Well, who shoots herself in the back, or he allegedly shot her in the back, and then these were Christian people, and they would never have done that. I know, Google Arkansas. There's a lot of things going on that you don't know about, and when you think about Hillary and Donald both being close friends of Jeffrey Epstein, you begin to wonder what's really happening. You know, I only play the videos I have on our library and what you bring in, so I'd like to play better videos. Primary schools bingo, you know, a lot of people don't want to vaccinate, so I'm suggesting that we have a national program to offer people homeschooling assistance at the federal level, so you could get your kids on track to get a GED by the age of 15 and go on to college. You know, education shouldn't be a huge hurdle. It should be a stepping stone. For me, education was a huge hurdle, and I crossed over that path only to find myself hanging over on a precipice with no support whatsoever. Having been a victim of affirmative action in 1977, I was essentially turned down for scholarships and all kinds of opportunity and getting access to Ivy League schools simply because I was white, because I had the top scores of anybody in my area. I won awards in math and science, yet I couldn't get a single scholarship or access to any decent university. So it's almost bizarre how we are leaving the kids off with nothing right now. Now, my plan is to actually give you guys an incentive to join the public school network, but in California, you shouldn't have to join and then force vaccinate your kids. Jim Carrey he's extremely upset at Jerry Brown. Jim Carrey was extremely, his kids, he doesn't want to vaccinate kids. No, that's just the beginning. The homeschooling plan is just an option to start with. A lot of people are going to not want to force vaccinate. So homeschooling is going to be encouraged. In fact, I'm in thinking of a voucher system. If your kid passes a test every year, you'll get a voucher payment. If they don't pass the test, you'll have a few opportunities to take it again. Your kid will. But then you'll get your payment only when he passes it. So it's an incentive for kids to get to that next level. And I also believe that we can incentivize learning through a system of scholarship perks. So if they get really good scores on their tests, their exit exam, for instance, in 8th grade, we could give them a scholarship. And they could bank it for whatever they want to do with it when they're 17 or 18 when they graduate. We also want to have an entire Department of Education reformation where we cut 50% of the staffing, who are simply just administrators, and focus on creating content and online learning experiences for kids where they can integrate directly with their learning module online. We could also produce kits, solar power, robot kits that would go directly to the schools, and you wouldn't have to force a state to do this. If they wanted to do it, they could do it. They just get on the list and they receive these kits. This is the government helping, not telling the states what to do and violating the 10th Amendment. Teachers unions don't like me, I'm sure, simply because I want more vouchers. But remember, I'm ending the charter schools and all the different abuses that have occurred down in various ways. The Gulen school system is already being exposed as a horrible connection to terrorist groups overseas in Turkey. We are going to go after that directly. We're going to end the charter school system as we know it, but more personal, independent, individual vouchers to everybody. This way we're spreading the wealth a little bit and not letting people cheat the system. That's been the problem from the very beginning. We engineer systems that just don't monitor and police itself. And in the process, we've allowed our system to get cheated. And the education system is one of the incredible, most horrible systems out there for cheating and taking money. Healthcare is also huge. All right. So take it easy, everybody. You don't have to be a genius to succeed in life. I can honestly tell you that being intelligent is not an asset. So, yeah, you just have to perform duties in life and decide what you want to do with those skills. I know people that do the same thing over and over again and make $100,000 a year. Like 10 things they do over and over again. So I think the idea of perfection and pushing your kids to be perfect is too much. You should lighten up a little bit. And this is true for all of you watching in Japan and Korea. Let your children explore their creativity. And that's the message I think America can teach the rest of the world. Because we're getting to the point where we can have a sustainable life. We can begin the process of fulfilling that dream that Alvin Toffler talked about. The third wave, he called it. Where people could live more humbly at home, but also telecommute and work off computers and learn off computers. So I'm proposing a 4-day work week and a 4-day school week. That's what I'm looking for. I don't like the Common Core curriculum. Sarah does. I don't. She's in the trenches working. I don't like the aspect of the Muslim aspect of the Common Core curriculum. That really disturbs me. But a 4-day work week is a major move, and it will cut back on the cost of education significantly and open up the job market for more people and more opportunity for jobs. There's a lot of people that we have to absorb into our economy if we really want to get them all working. A lot of people are just not going to work. It's absurd to think that everyone wants to work. But a 4-day work school week will lighten the load and increase opportunity for the 97 million people that don't work at all right now. Yeah. So nobody else wants to do this. I'm the only presidential candidate who wants this idea. I think the American people work way too hard. I really do. And I believe that it's causing a lot of early deaths. We are 39th in the world in terms of lifespan. That's not good. There's something we're not doing right, and there's something, the disconnect going on in the family. The family unit is breaking down as a result of lack of time with each other. And so we'll encourage this in government agencies. Private sector jobs can continue to do 5, 10, 7-day work weeks. I don't care. But cutting the government down to 4-day work week would save us a lot of money too. If you need to reach the government, you can do Monday through Thursday, I'm sure. Being white and minority in Georgia. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, wow. Georgia. Being white and a minority in Georgia. Hola. That's what I would be if I were there. I'd be a minority. Pedestrian walked in front of a used car lot that is flying from the Mexican and American flags along Buford Highway at Norcross, Georgia last month. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. You're calling attention to the changing demographics of certain states. Mississippi's, you go to Jackson. We went there a long time ago to visit one of Sarah's, just some people that we knew. And, man, Jackson, Mississippi is predominantly black. I was really amazed. And we went into a motel, and I had some pretty hard stares from some people looking at us, just checking in. It was amazing. I don't know if you've ever, of course you've been prejudiced. Even if you're black, you've been prejudiced. You know what hard stares are? Well, it's like there's this friction in Mississippi. What happened with Vaughn? What's going on? Bye, TT. Yeah. Hey, are we ending our show over there? I think we are. Master Meatball, you're the only one left. Wow. We were featured earlier, and now we got one person there. What a weird network. They're draining the bandwidth to censor David on Vaughn. How does that work? Explain that, 8613. What is UFC? Are we having problems getting through? Take care, Kana. Kana Diane, everybody. Good night. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, Basket of Deplorables says a good one. Some are just caught up in voting their party lines. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't that offended by the anti-Trump statement that Hillary made. Okay. Our backup chat is over there. Vaughn has been slammed. We're still broiling on our other network, our backup network. Thanks for coming in. Vorpalbite just came into our iVlog show. He just said, and if you can see this video, we just got hosed. Well, I guess that's the end of our, DDoSed. We just got DDoSed. Vaughn just took a dive, everybody. I'm putting this on the screen. Hang in there. We got a link over to YouTube. Here's the iVlog link. If you guys want to just hook up, talk. The anti-war rally could continue a little bit longer. We haven't really touched on a lot of subjects. The banks are essentially the backbone of our war activity. As I started the show, I talked about the amount of money we owe the Fed. The Fed is handling a $19.5 trillion note right now. Well, that can be managed in the long run. Yeah. Vaughn Live is to get at you, David. Sorry. Okay, it's just Vaughn Live that's doing this to me? Wow. I wasn't DDoSed? Thanks. UFC is... okay. Thank you. 713. Yeah, we've been censored on this network for a long time. That's why I send other people over there. XP1 reporting. Hey, how you doing, man? XP1 is over there and over here. Cool. The nurse in the iconic sailor photo from the 1940s has died. Yes, she has. She has passed away. Greta Zimmer Friedman, who was kissed by a sailor in Times Square in one of the most iconic photographs of the 20th century. She died on Thursday in Virginia. Her son, Joshua Friedman, told the Daily News she was 92. And I'll bet she had the time of her life. Bless you. Bless you, Greta. You're going to join? I feel like Boner here. Boehner, former Speaker of the House Boehner. They called him Crying Boehner. You're going to join all the others, Greta. Okay. Yeah, this is like having a power outage at home, and you totally, like, we're like, you know, hunkering down with our blankies, and yeah, I'm like going to make some popcorn, but I can't, so I've got the gas range. Propane. We should do an apocalypse show one of these nights. Explain to me how Johnson polls at 5% or above and you're never mentioned. 8101, my campaign's been censored from the very beginning. They saw that I was capable and more than able to run the country, and speak well, I'm articulate. They said they don't want you in here. You're not welcome. And I don't do what they tell me to do. I'm a very independent person. I'm an iconoclast. Hi, Johnny. So that's why they censor our show. And that's why they don't know what to do with what's going on, because what's happening, we are on air. I'm going to go ahead and go down off Vaughn for a second and then back up on Vaughn. We still do our YouTube show and record to YouTube. We have a YouTube link right here. Walter says some chunk of work is merely creating and overcoming problems. That's brilliant, man. That's brilliant. Walter says some great things. He says some chunk of work is merely creating and overcoming problems. Very true, Walter. So that's our YouTube link to chat. I'm back up again. I stopped and I started the broadcast. I broadcast all the time, man. Yeah, I never stop because we can't stop. Don't make me play the song. Play the song. I don't want to play the song. Play the song. Can't stop because we won't stop. It's an unstable platform. Clearly, Captain. We will reach warp speed at approximately 0600 hours. Thank you for trying. Spock, beam me up. I love the apple crisp recipe too. We loved it. 2/3 micro and 1/3 oven. Worked great. Quick, too. Oh, regarding the 4-day work idea, agreeing. Yeah, Walter says some chunk of work is merely creating and overcoming problems regarding the 4-day work week. Good idea. Thank you, Walter. Obs. Obs. From beyond into this galactic world, we enter the future. It's Big Voice Dave. We need some sort of a peak moment of an awakening.
Are you on anything right now? Are you willing to take a drug test? Loved her. Tell me about the last one. Tell me about the last one.
His head. Inside his head. Inside his head.
For one example of many, in 2001, a small California biotech company called Epicite patented a product, patented a gene, which causes both men and women who eat it, in the form of any product, to produce antibodies to sperm. If the men eat the Epicite gene, they produce antibodies to their own sperm, rendering them irreversibly sterile. If women eat the Epicite gene, when they have intercourse, their bodies produce antibodies to the sperm that has been deposited, and they become infertile through the destruction of the sperm. Now, DuPont and Monsanto formed a joint venture, purchased the Epicite firm, and, quote, commercialized the Epicite gene. Do you want to know if the food that you're eating contains the Epicite gene?
I do.
Sure you do.
I do.
How about the food that your children are eating, or your grandchildren?
Sure you do.
Sure you do. But the FDA, the Fraud and Death Administration, has made sure that under current laws, it is illegal for you to have that information.
The truth, when you finally chase it down, is almost always far worse than your darkest visions and fears. Hunter S. Thompson. Wow. Amazing. Thank you. And thank you for listening to that. She was giving you guys some information about epicite. It is in the corn, the GMO corn that we're eating. A lot of you aren't aware of it, but you're slowly being turned into a neutered, sterilized, walking zombie. And as much as I'd love to, soft coat this and make it really nice, it's not. We're all facing. Well, you'd have to look it up. You'd have to get the spelling right and look it up. But the gene is out there, and it is being used to alter our ability to replicate. So the big question is, why are we having wars around the world? And you and I know that most conflicts in your neighborhood are solved pretty quickly. And most of the sectarian violence has been around for thousands of years, and mankind has dealt with it using other ways besides war. But when America got involved in starting the war machine many years ago, it kind of changed the dimension. And war is now a go-to thing to get rid of people, to depopulate the world, to eliminate the bad seeds, the people that just can't compete. War is being used on many different levels. It's used mostly by elitists. So the old saying, all wars are bankers' wars, is true. And ironically, the only way that bankers know how to expand credit is to have a war, because there's no way to justify it any other way. So they've already done an amazing job of borrowing money and expanding credit and screwing over the average person, weakening our dollar. And in the process, this establishment organization is now going to come up with a way to expand the credit, which is not the same as before. You see, we've reached a pinnacle point in economics when they can't do it anymore. So war itself would take down the entire human race, because we have a thing called mutual assured destruction, which powers like China and the US and Russia have nuclear weapon defense systems, yet they keep pushing the envelope by starting a war with Syria, initiating rebel forces in areas that should be left alone, untended by outside influence. We should have focused on strictly humanitarian assistance as opposed to financing a war, a directive against some benign group of Christians and Catholics who happen to like Bashar al-Assad. Consequently, we have this refugee crisis spawned by the stupidity of the IMF and the World Bank as they further their goal to control countries like Syria and Ukraine. So this is a non-stop cauldron of stupidity that they have initiated that can only be immersed in the soothing nature of water. So I have concluded, from my years of analyzing this problem here on Earth, I'm not sure who's going to be my Secretary of State. I haven't discussed that yet. But thank you for asking. There's a simple formula I put together. It's really quite simple. Water equals food equals prosperity equals peace. And it may sound terribly simplistic and almost like a truism to some people, but this is a plan and an absolute guarantee in achieving world peace on this planet. Fresh water is absolutely essential to saving not only this nation, but every other nation out there. And that should be the highest priority of all nations right now. I've been dumped to the bottom of the list. That's how they do it. Any kind of government, you act like you are onto something new. Not at all, no. Not at all. I'm not on, frankly, I'd like to reform government, shrink it, but focus on priorities. I'm trying to simply think here. Government doesn't think for itself. The cronies that are in there, the prostitutes and whores that you've been electing, they're there just to get reelected. They don't give a crap about you. You control the water and you control the people. That's wrong. You open up more water, cheaper water, and more food. You get commerce, you get economic development, you get people having children. You see the growth of our species. You see, folks, we are innately good people, but we've got a cancer among us, and it's called greed. And it has taken over the minds of the elite that actually own the world. So they want to now control the resources that you think are yours or anyone's. You think it's common water in your tap. No, that water is actually seen as a commodity by companies like Nestle. And they'd rather charge you a lot and pay next to nothing. They got 29 million gallons of water for $524 at Nestle Corporation in California at a time when they're in the worst drought ever. And you got a presidential candidate like Donald Trump going over there saying there is no drought in California. This guy is disconnected. And he's not even aware that they're artificially engineering the drought, which makes him even more dangerous as a candidate. We're not trying to control people, we're trying to offer more opportunity. Did I say prosperity? I have to correct that, sorry. Prosperity. Typo. The protocol for me appearing human is working. Errors are common among human species. Prosperity is the correct word. Hawaiian tap is very good. Oh yeah, totally. Back to featured, thank you. I don't know who this Juan person is. You keep mentioning him in the show. Could you stay on topic? DHS must give their flunkies the night off. Yeah, I guess so. Hillary's gangster government has a motto, everything is for sale if the price is right. I agree with you. Hillary has got a gangster backbone. She's an AIPAC beneficiary, so is Donald. Both Hillary and Donald represent the thugs that took out our president, John F. Kennedy. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Seriously, we lost a great president, and you may be a little conservative for that particular guy, but I personally think JFK was a guy that could have sparked a lot of concern for our environment. But it turns out that JFK actually was a guy who endorsed chemtrails. He was caught between a rock and a hard place. And when they were trying to control him, he didn't want to go with this. So he actually, I believe, went up against the same people that are poisoning us right now in the skies above us. And the same people that want to put us at war in other countries. Let me show you what John F. Kennedy said at the weather control seminar at the UN. Watch this.
Mr. President, honored delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
Yeah. So weather prediction and weather control was high on their list. And he was only reading what they were telling him to read. You're going on iBlog? Your twin Annie Lennox playing? Really? Okay. Well, we don't have another video stream on iBlog anymore. Nobody gifted us a premium account, so we can't put the multiple cameras on there. Sorry. No, Hillary actually is falling apart at the seams. She's actually receiving huge concerns about her demeanor. I'm of the belief, now this is just an out there thought, but I'm of the belief that the Jimmy Kimmel Live may have been pre-recorded. Yeah. Just a thought. I'm just a little concerned that she may not be too well. But here she looked pretty good opening that jar of pickles.
Speaking of rumors that have gotten started, there's now the new one is that you are unhealthy, that you had a concussion. Right. That Rudy Giuliani was on Fox News yesterday and today, and he's saying you seem to be sick, you look tired, etc., etc. Are you in good health?
Well, this has become one of their themes. Here, you take my pulse while I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Make sure I'm alive.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. What can I say? It's, back in October, the National Enquirer said I would be dead in 6 months.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
So with every breath I take, I feel like it's a
You have a new lease on life.
Yeah, a new lease on life.
It's funny,
I don't know why they are saying this. I think, on the one hand, it's part of the wacky strategy. Just say all these crazy things, and maybe you can get some people to believe you. On the other hand, it just absolutely makes no sense. And I don't go around questioning Donald Trump's health. I mean, as far as I can tell, he's
Welcome to
healthy as a horse.
VidZet.com. My name is Ted Noel. I'm a medical doctor with 36 years of experience, but I am not Hillary Clinton's treating physician. So I can't claim that what I'm about to tell you is a conclusive diagnosis. What I can do is exactly what the CIA does. I look at the public record, and then I put it together to see if there's a single story that explains all of the odd things we see with Hillary and arrive at an answer as to what's going on medically with her. On August 14, Joe Biggs of InfoWars reported that Secret Service agents had approached him with information that Hillary Clinton was suffering from Parkinson's disease. They've had to take steps to accommodate her disease. They also indicated that they have known she's had Parkinson's disease for an extended period. It has become so severe that they are seriously concerned about her ability to perform the duties of president if she is elected.
Well, that's interesting. A lot of people are questioning her ability to function, and it's no major leap of concern to ask for a medical report that's legitimate by a team of doctors. So we are right at the precipice of the most important decision in our country's history. And the Democrats are yet again unable to question anybody who's running for president. They simply will not question anyone. They didn't question Barack Obama on his birth certificate. And when the issue came up again and again, they completely ignored it. And to this day, contend that he still is from Honolulu, which is completely absurd. But her drinking of the water indicates a lung issue or a deep lung issue. The phlegm that came out of her mouth in this instance when she was captured on film in Cleveland during a speech where she had a severe coughing episode. It turns out that one of the drugs to treat Parkinson's disease, levodopa, or its derivatives, leave a major side effect, and it's a common cold and clogging of the bronchioles, very much like a cold. So if she is on levodopa, I think it's important that everyone in America knows this when making the decision to vote for her. On that note, it would be smart for Hillary to release her medical records, insofar as it would force Donald Trump to release his medical records, which I think would also belie an even more disturbing story. I think he's bluffing her. I think it's a poker game. See, Donald Trump has gone out of his way to avoid tough subjects like talking about Bill Clinton's Jeffrey Epstein case. 7-8 years ago, Jeffrey Epstein, a friend of Donald Trump's and a friend of Bill Clinton's, was arrested for pedophilia and sex trafficking. So we have a serious situation. I don't have any medical records to release. But I would release them if I had medical records. But I've never had any medical problems in my life. I'm healthy as a horse. In lieu of that, you've got a situation where Trump, I think, is really bluffing. He knows full well that Hillary cannot possibly reveal her medical records. And he knows full well that if he were to release his medical records, it might tell some interesting stories. So I think we've got a situation there. Epstein, on the other hand, that story has been suppressed by the mainstream media. I'm not trying to make jokes about somebody's condition. I mean, just showing you a picture of her phlegm, it wasn't my intention to in any way degrade the woman. She's trying to get by a very tough period where she's being treated for a neurological disease and running for president. I mean, from a human perspective, you got to show a little bit of sympathy. I think Jeffrey Epstein himself is a credible witness insofar as he's the kingpin of all this trafficking. And if he was brought up on federal charges, he would reveal a very ugly story where He's a close friend of Donald Trump. He's on the guest list, on his blacklist, that Jeffrey Epstein's butler revealed. And it's all fact. This is not made up. This is not fiction. And Jeffrey's butler died, but he left this in his will to the world. And now we see a very ugly picture where Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Hillary's hiding for Bill, all related to a Jeffrey Epstein, a pedophile. Okay? Now, you want to talk about what's really going to take down the Democrats, Republicans, it would be that. Not necessarily Hillary's condition or Donald's medical problems. Yeah. Regardless, I'm just telling you, women are stronger physically than men. They live longer than men, too. That's a fact. I am doing a show on 9/11 Bengalitis. Thank you. What a disaster. I know, there's nobody to choose. Who do you vote for in this election? I know. I feel your pain, man. Look at me as a person who's been talking you through the tough times, a very difficult period of time. I don't want you to freak out and think that the ISIS is going to take over the world, because I think that's being manufactured. There is a threat of jihadism, no question about it, but I think for the most part it's been manufactured, the threat. We will talk about 9/11 and what happened tomorrow. I'm going to probably start an early show, right around noon, actually, I'm thinking. And let it roll, and then I'll come in the evening and talk about 9/11. So I don't want to, force many people to, wait for me, but I'll probably be in around 6-ish. But I'll start probably around noon. We'll go noon to 2 in the morning, kind of like or maybe, somewhere around 2 to 2. We'll do 2 to 2. That'll be better. Pacific time. So this way I'll capture the East Coast audience. I know a lot of people didn't want to just tune in late in the night, so I'll start in around 5 p.m. your time, probably 2 p.m. my time.
I'm recording this on the day before the 15-year anniversary of the September 11 attacks.
Okay, so we'll be featuring stories like this one and a lot more. Almost all of our videos could fill a 12-hour period easily. I'll do the 12, like a 10-hour deal or 12-hour deal. 12-hour show. We're not going to do a 24-hour 9/11, no. We'll just do a 12-hour show. So we're going to go 2 to 2. 2 p.m. Pacific to 2 a.m. Pacific. That'll be good enough. It should. I normally don't broadcast on Sundays, and I'm kind of trying to fit around my day of rest, too. I have to fit that in. If I don't rest one day a week, I can't do a regular broadcast without feeling drained. It's one of the reasons why we're still able to do this. 7,000 hours or 8,000 hours of broadcasting. That's amazing. Fruit enzyme, I'm telling you, it's incredible. It's like, wow. 9/11. Well, we would change it. I was going to do 7/11 in lieu of the fact that Trump thinks it's 7/11. Yeah, I mean, many people didn't realize it, but Trump, he's got inside friends like Rudy Giuliani that now says that Trump believes that Obama was born in America, in the U.S. now. See, Trump only used the birther idea. That was my idea that I had for 4 years. He only used it to get noticed in 2012, 2011. But Trump himself, he's all screwed up when it comes to 9/11.
And it's very close to my heart because I was down there and I watched our police and our firemen down on 7/11 down at the World Trade Center right after it came down. 7/11 World Trade Center right after it came down. And I saw the greatest people I've ever seen in action. I saw the bravest people I've ever seen, including the construction workers, including every person down there. That's what New York values about 7/11.
Thank you. Now this. Thank you so much. That was great. 7/11. Well, there is a disease. It's a mental disorder, and you might have it, folks. It's called Atheronervosa Rex. I'll give you the etiology of the disease. Wow. Hang on. It's called freedom, your disease? Okay, it's athorexia nervosa. That's what it is. Check this out. If you have this disease, oh, this isn't good. Hang on, this is a doctor's assessment of the disease. Its origins date back to 1996, but athorexia nervosa is liking food that's healthy. And I'm looking for the eating disorder. It's not on Google anymore. That's amazing. Hang on. It's liking healthy food, which is bizarre that anyone would even think that. Wow, they scrubbed the name from the registry. No kidding. All right, well, I'll accept that as a retraction. Used to be a major event. Change subject. Voters only need to swear they're citizens. PSYOP. Oh, really? Interesting. And did I mention the GM is recalling 4 million vehicles for possible airbag seatbelt failures?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Here. It is September 10th.
Okay, we got a thing on 9/11 tonight we'll be playing too. Cool. I'm going to add my 9/11 to my list. I'm going to have a lot of them. World Trade Center. I tend to believe it was an inside job. I'm the only presidential candidate who actually believes that. I don't know anyone else who would actually go out of their way to say that. It's too risky politically. But I'm more than willing to say that I believe that 9/11 was an inside job at this point because I've seen so many cover-ups on our government side on this issue. The Pentagon's release of only one set of photographs from one camera angle at the Pentagon. The FBI should have done more, and it didn't really reveal much at all, but it did show kind of a missile. GM recalls more than 4 million vehicles. Let's see if yours on it. 4.3 globally. Wow. A sensing diagnostic module in the affected vehicles can improperly activate a test that prevents the safety devices from deploying. Happened on a lot of pickups, sports utility vehicles, and cars. Dating from 2014 to 2017. So if you've got a vehicle from 2014 to 2017, pickup, sports utility vehicle from General Motors, you may want to check it out. Pentagon has slammed with a USA-made what? Oh, you believe the Patriot missile, Tomahawk, was hit on the Pentagon, Lone Patriot? That's interesting. Anyone told you that you're a beep, beep, beep? Okay, Lars, thanks. We're going to ask you to just go away. Crawl back in the hole you came from. Thanks. Yeah, you should tell your mother that you got out without asking permission. Wow. We're getting hosed here on all different levels. I'm going to bring the videos on. I'm not sure what's happening on Vaughn, but it seems like there's a slowdown in the chat or something. I'm not sure what. Meet the cast of the Orlando shooting at Pulse that really didn't happen because there were no bodies. If you believe the false flag event Pulse at the Orlando shooting, Pulse nightclub, you're probably one of the many people that watch the mainstream media. Well, I don't, and I can tell you that I've seen enough photographs to tell you that the Pulse shooting was a fake shooting. And the Orlando PD ought to be ashamed of themselves. They put on an incredibly weird dancing routine a week later after the death of 50 men, alleged death of 50 men. Weird stuff coming out of that PD. They need to be investigated. Very weird stuff. I'm not done with them. When I'm president, people are tired, man. I know. I don't tell you to keep on going. You got to tell yourself to keep on going, man. You get to bring yourself up in the morning, wake yourself up, and pinch yourself and say, I love this life. Yes, I will have an attending physician with me at all times when I'm president. Nothing happened in Kosovo. I have never been there. I'm not affiliated with anyone who's been to Kosovo, unless, of course, you're referring to military personnel. I'm not military, and I've never been to Kosovo. I don't know what to say. What did Bill Clinton say about the real meaning of Make America Great Again? What profit from every single Clinton global initiative you can make money on? I mean, seriously, you actually listen to Bill Clinton still? What's wrong with you? I'm not a gangster. I resent that. Okay? David, will you be able to handle the presence of Secret Service all the time? Yes. Unlike Bill and Hillary, I will treat Secret Service with respect. I don't work for nobody. I'm not a gangster type. You know, if you want to research the Gambino crime link between Hillary, Donald, and the rest, we've got links for you. Oh, yeah. Let me get you guys the link library extraordinaire. That's not it. We've got 46 links right now for you to try out. Hey, you like that tie? Thank you, Guest 987. 46 links on Trump. Okay? And we've got an additional 85 links on Hillary. All of these things point to corruption at all levels. Check them out. You can post these all over the internet. It helps us. It helps us spread the word about the dangers of the two-party system. Yes. Tropical oppression going on right now. We're finding out exactly what's going on. Pacific Right, yeah. So this is Pacific Redwood. He's going to give us some tropical, 12 minutes of tropical depression. Phased array radar being used to weather modify all kinds of hurricanes and climate around the world. By the way, the elitists who want to start wars, who don't care about water, food, prosperity, or peace, they also have a hidden agenda, and that is weather modification. They make money on that. That's why Donald won't talk about chemtrails, and that's why Hillary won't talk about chemtrails. But these elitists will talk about what they're doing, and they're very proud of it. One of the Rothschilds has opened his discussion about the weather patterns. It's just bizarre, but this guy actually is bragging about it. They're so on top of what's happening in the weather, they've created a website called myweather.com, in which they talk about their connection to the weather strategies around the world. Now, there's either Sir Evelyn Rothschild, guardian of the Vatican, or we can give you words from Nathan Rothschild. Either one. Gladly talk about myweather.com.
Is any part of our government actually working with aliens, if you want to use a shorthand term? It's not a good term, but let's say aliens.
Just for a moment, let's just imagine that possibly they actually went to the dark side. Historically, this five-pointed star...
The RMB situation, you mentioned a so-called currency problem. I mean, do you see the day in the next 5 years where it's fully convertible and flexible?
Well, you're talking to a person who's quite old. If I'm around in 5 years, I'd like to think that that is the case. I think we've all got to move towards that opportunity, and I think the challenge also is whether we should move towards an international currency. because the speculation and the complexity of currency has caused some of the irritation, not only among the trading nations, but among individuals. But it's not for me to say how it will happen. But I think everyone who knows how to deal with these situations is very cognizant of the problem it takes to get over it. On the whole, it's a question of giving the opportunity. I mean, we have also launched an operation called My Weather, which gains access to the first truly personalized weather application for the web and mobile devices. You can go up on myweather.com and you can find out within a kilometer of where you are what is going to happen to the weather. It also gives a 10-day forecast. I think we've got to be aware that we're living in a time, I'm not going to get into the subject, which is a huge subject of climate change.
I'm not going to get into the subject because it's absolutely something that we don't talk about publicly. You see, climate change is something that we manage effectively using the tools provided for us. Hey, we're going to say goodnight, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been fun, but we don't need the Rothschilds to spend our time with. I am the ghost of David Sponheim. I'm back. But this is a real problem. They're capable of controlling the weather, and we're going to be analyzing that tonight with One Pacific Redwood. Thanks again for coming in, everyone. Appreciate it. It's always funny. That's some funny stuff, yeah. No dancing? Are you serious? You want me to get up and dance? Really? Okay. Let's get down and boogie. Hip-hop skelter. All right, everybody, stay tuned for more videos all the way to 2 in the morning. Remember, the key to peace is prosperity, food, and water.
To impose control over the politically awakened masses of the world is at a historical low. I once put it rather pungently, and I was flattered that the British Foreign Secretary repeated this, as follows. Namely, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people. Literally, it was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people.
Wow.
Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. It's easier to kill than to control.
Okay, we're going to now take you to a video that actually was a Gotthard Tunnel video that is the freakiest thing I think I've ever seen, coming directly from the elitist camp, the Eastern European or Western European royalty. These people have planned this. The Gotthard Tunnel is a unique place because it's one of the areas that Hitler was held back from crossing over into Western Europe. And the Gotthard Tunnel is now the center of this celebration, which shows you how dark and weird these elitists are and how they've gone off the deep end. They're into worshiping Satan, Lucifer, and of course they're into making wars. They could care less about you. They're willing to finance both sides of the wars. It doesn't matter. But this is Satan worship you're going to be watching. And I don't no way want you to even think that I would endorse this. This is sick beyond belief. And we'll be playing you this just to kick it off. And there's also some weird things about CERN we'll be showing you later tonight. But the CERN reactor people are up to some weird things as well. We are concerned about the future of our government being manipulated by powerful elitists, and that's where I step in. Well, Herr Trump doesn't listen to anything. He's part of the establishment. Yep, he's completely hook, line, and sinker. He only used my ideas, including my birther concept that I ran with for 4 years. He used my ideas, the 1,000-mile fence, the mobile medical units, the ocean pipeline. He calls it an ocean dome. He used these ideas to catapult himself to win the Republican nomination. And that's something that I can't retract because I had nothing to do with that. But it's interesting to see this man who simply borrows ideas to get ahead is not going to implement them, I assure you. He's going to do the bidding of these powerful elitists. He is the establishment. Donald Trump met with Henry Kissinger 2 months ago. And if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you need to know that. Hillary Clinton meets with Henry Kissinger frequently. These are both parties that are trying to destroy and control our country. And that's why we, as Americans, are stepping up, no matter what, against all odds of censorship and talking to you on a nightly basis. Yeah, they abandoned the collider in Texas, but they are working on the CERN reactor, and we saw a weird event recently where they were actually pretending to do a dark mass, a satanic ritual of blood sacrifice from the CERN reactor parking lot right out in front of the area, and they had to have secret clearance to get in. That's a completely sealed area. So whatever these paid actors are doing here will freak you out. And we got 9/11 was an inside job, according to We Are Change. We got a 48-minute video lined up tonight as well. So we're kind of going to kick off the 9/11 event tonight as well as, of course, tomorrow. Starting at 2 p.m. Pacific, I'll start the show. Maybe a little earlier. Either way, we have to keep this discussion going because they've shut down all credible discussion on the internet about 9/11 being an inside job, and they try to discredit it. They put websites out there talking about reptilians and flat Earth right next to the 9/11 as an inside job. So the internet is being culled and censored as we speak. Signing off to all of the iVlog people. Thank you guys. Are we still in there? Let's see. We're done. Trying to figure out who's in here. We got one person. Okay, good night to iVloggers. Take it easy. Thanks for coming in. Master Meatball, we're going to be over at Vaughn for the rest of the evening. You can also watch us over at our website, AmericasThirdParty.com. No, you're the only one there, man. There's nobody else. You just want to watch from here? Okay, I'll leave it in. I'll leave it on for a while. There's no hurt in doing that. Okay, here is that video I showed you. Is going to be kind of mind-blowing. You're going to look at a symbolic journey through the dark minds of these elitists that want to control the destiny of our great planet. And they want to own the planet. They want to get rid of 90% of the population. These are the people that are behind. Oh, you're banned, Vaughn? Okay, I'll keep here. Thank you, Master Meatball. I'll check back with you a little later. All right. These are the people that are trying to control the destiny of this planet and their human species. And I might want to close with this one statement. We are the only species on this planet of Earthlings, from insects to animals, that want to get rid of themselves, depopulate. Think about it. What is that cancer within us that wants to shrink our population when we just have an allocation distribution issue of fresh water, food, prosperity, and peace? Good night, everybody. Take care.
It's either these people are in a trance or they are acting as though they are in a trance. But this is just incredibly in-your-face satanic rituals meant to entice the fallen ones